knew about the allegations.
They need to take action immediately to make sure those individuals are removed, and I don't care if they serve on the school board.
The Decatur Democrat says he has not heard from Governor Kemp's office on whether he might use his authority to remove the superintendent, but he says his calls to the governor's office will get louder if there's no action by the board today. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Meanwhile, members of the DeKalb County Legislative Delegation have formed a committee to look into the indictment of Dr. Horton. State Representative Doreen Carter is the chair of the panel.
Our focus is not on trying to adjudicate this situation. It's strictly about how do we support parents and students and our school board members.
Carter says she and other lawmakers are keeping an open mind. Right now, sunny skies, 60 degrees, warming up to 84 degrees in Midtown, about 10 degrees above average. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Investigators in Clayton County recovered the body of an infant in the area where police had been searching for a missing 6-month-old named Nakai Pratt. The discovery was made near a dumpster and wooded area by an apartment complex on Valley Hill Road in Riverdale. That's where the boy's father, Antonio Pierce, claimed the child was taken at gunpoint. Police say Pierce's account contained inconsistencies and did not match physical evidence. He remains in custody on an unrelated charge but has not yet been formally charged in his son's disappearance or death. It is 9:01. The U.S. brokered Mideast peace plan is strained over the slow handover of deceased hostages.
Israel is accusing Hamas of violating the Gaza ceasefire by moving too slowly to release the remains of deceased hostages. Only 8 of the 28 bodies have been released. Israel is now threatening to reduce aid flowing into Gaza by half. Hamas has said it would be challenging to recover the remains because of the destruction in Gaza.
Stephanie Ramos reports the UN says it could cost $70 billion to rebuild the Gaza territory. Well, day 15 of the government shutdown, Atlanta's airport is among at least a dozen around the country refusing to play a video recorded by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. In it, she blames Democrats for the shutdown. Here's a portion of it.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government. And because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay.
Well, the airports say the video is not permitted because it violates policy, and some even cite the Hatch Act. That's a federal law that restricts certain political activities by federal employees on federally funded programs. New research from Georgia Gwinnett College shows while the Joro spider was first discovered here in Georgia 11 years ago, it may have come into the U.S. from other states first.
There could have been multiple ports of entry. Yeah.
In fact, biology professor Dr. James Russell says his research shows they enter the U.S. at several different ports from South Carolina to Virginia. He says it's still believed Joro spiders came in from China, and despite their scary look, the spiders are not, he says, harmful to humans. Well, as we move into the spooky season of Halloween, a new study finds a large number of adults are afraid of the dark.
A new study from Talker Research shows nearly 1/3 of adults are still afraid of the dark. More men report being afraid than women. Psychologists say it's okay. It's a primal fear.
Bree Tennis reports researchers say being afraid of the dark begins around age 3, and 24% of adults still use a nightlight. It is now 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. First, though, time for live TV coverage of traffic and weather as we go live to Smilin' Mark McKay.
Thanks, Cheryl. The east-west connector is all jammed up eastbound, trying to work your way into the Fontaine Road area, trying to get over to South Cobb Drive. Crash between Fontaine Road and South Cobb Drive, holding you up as you approach that intersection. The perimeter highway rolling out of Smyrna Vinings has eased from the sunshine-related delays we were watching on 285 eastbound. Still a bit crowded, leaving I-75 working into Sandy Springs. Same story westbound, leaving I-85. That crowd still in place through Dorville to get past Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. Watching a very slow ride into Midtown, downtown Atlanta. Still Ashley Frasco.
Still crowded from University Avenue, headed north on the connector, 75-85. Trouble moved off to the side near 10th Street. Big jam on the Buford Spring connector southbound. We've had a crash working below Monroe Drive, so don't take that. Stick with 85 south into town. The worst of that crowd between Claremont and 400. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and warming up today to a high of 84. That's trending about 10 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
Right now, sunny, 61 degrees in Smyrna and Duluth. Stonecrest are at 62. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, to an exciting Wednesday edition of the Mark Arum Show. We have so much to talk about in just a couple of minutes. The latest on the Israel-Hamas war and the fragility of peace that we warned about yesterday. We got big political news, a huge endorsement in the governor's race here in Georgia. Very excited. Political analyst Stephen Lawson's going to join us live in studio at 10:35. You heard Cheryl mention it. Day 15 of the government shutdown, how it's going to impact you and me. We'll go to D.C. for the latest on that. Very excited. Actress P.J. Souls is going to join us. She was what I'm calling the female lead in Stripes with Bill Murray. I'm very excited. She's probably most known for Halloween films, but I loved her in Stripes. She's going to join us live. Talking tech with Kim Commando. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart. But first, we're going to start with some breaking news, Deborah. I am 51 years old. And for the first time in my life this morning, I got a howdy as a greeting.
Really?
I've seen him in the break room. I've gotten I've heard him in movies, in TV shows, howdy, stranger, howdy. I got a howdy in the break room today.
Our old tech guy used to say howdy a lot.
Who?
Tim. He would always come in here and say howdy.
Take away the breaking news. You're absolutely right. You're right, Deborah. This was not the first time. Tim used to say it all the time. But I got it today. I not someone that works at WSB Radio, but one of the adjacent down that shady hall.
Oh, yeah, I know that hall, yeah.
And I was like, hey, good morning, buddy. He goes, howdy. But he gave me like Tim used to be like, howdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy gave me an enthusiasm.
But he was like wave with the cowboy hat.
Yeah, he's like,
everything.
howdy. I was like, oh, all right. But you're right. Tim used to say it, which was really weird. Howdy. Anyway, welcome to the Mark Arum Show. The big news here, we're going to start the show, is the fragile peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Let's get the latest. Deborah Patta, CBS News correspondent in Israel.
Hostage negotiator Gershom Baskin told us, sadly, some bodies may never be recovered.
Many of the Hamas commanders who were responsible for burying these Israeli hostages are no longer alive. They were killed by the Israelis. There are thousands of Gazans who are unaccounted for, who are believed to be buried underneath the rubble of buildings that Israel bombed.
First responders are now searching for the dead. But it is not easy when over 90% of the buildings have been damaged or destroyed.
So not all of the dead hostages have been returned. One of the hostages, the deceased hostages was returned. They did DNA testing, and Israel was like, we don't know who this person is. And I knew it was going to be difficult, right, after 2+ years of war, to find out where these hostages are to be returned to their families, which is obviously something very important to the families. Selma Al-Baziz is a CNN correspondent in London. Now, not only are we dealing with the hostages, but we're starting to see some violence break out in Gaza.
There's been many reports of violent clashes that have taken place in the enclave, but I want to point out one incident which was shared on a Hamas-affiliated social media channel. It purports to show masked gunmen, some of them with Hamas headbands, killing 8 blindfolded individuals. Now, several rights groups have condemned this, calling it a violation of human rights. It is deeply concerning, but it seems that it is only the beginning, because Hamas has now issued a statement to residents in Gaza saying that they should hand over what they call collaborators, or those who they perceive as enemies, or face, quote, the swift hand of justice. There's also been clashes, running gun battles in parts of Gaza between Hamas and rival clans, or those it perceives as enemies. Look, for Palestinian families in Gaza, this is absolutely terrifying right now. They have just endured 2 years of war. They're now looking at the near collapse of their society, and Hamas trying to reassert control in this very violent and direct manner. And it is also concerning, of course, because of the ceasefire agreement. The ceasefire agreement envisions that Hamas will lay down its arms, give up governance, and that Gaza would be governed in the future by some other body. But that ceasefire plan has been extremely vague on detail, and Hamas has shown no commitment, no willingness to lay down those arms. So a couple of questions. How will Israel respond if Hamas doesn't lay down arms? Will the ceasefire agreement fall apart? You've already heard from President Trump, who seems to indicate that he could respond violently, or that there would be a violent response if Hamas does not lay down its weapons. So again, you have just days after this ceasefire agreement is in place, a Hamas which is showing its strength on the streets, putting its police forces back among the local population, hitting back at anyone it sees as enemies, and as a result, it puts serious question marks over the viability of Trump's peace plan.
Selma Al-Abdi's in London this morning. Exactly, Deborah, what I warned about yesterday. I mean, verbatim. I said, now that the ceasefire deal is in place and Israel's withdrawn their troops, Hamas is back in charge in Gaza. And I said, they're going to go house to house, hut to hut, building to building, looking for Palestinians who they think are traitors, and gave information to the Israelis. And you heard that there was a video of 8 or 9 blindfolded Palestinians executed by Hamas. I warned folks yesterday that this was going to happen, and it did. Sadly, it's and just think, and Selma had a good point. You know, the Palestinians that have been displaced for 2 years because of this war, not Hamas Palestinians, but like innocent civilians. The war ends, the peace deal's on, the ceasefire's on, they can start going back to their homes, and now they have to deal with Hamas executing people they think are traitors. Awful. Now, the fragility of the peace deal is legit. We also warned that about yesterday. The next phase of the peace deal was the disarming of Hamas, which seems to be a non-starter right now. President Trump asked about this yesterday on how Hamas will be disarmed.
They know I'm not playing games, and it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes, you say.
Because everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm.
It's fragile, right? That's the word that we used yesterday on this ceasefire deal. I mean, it's phase one. Phenomenal. All the living hostages returned, ceasefire, prisoner swap, all that. Couldn't have gone any better. But the fragility of the deal going forward is evident now. And is there any way Hamas will disarm? Elena Treen at the White House.
No, it's not exactly clear, especially given, Sarah, if you remember what the vice president said just days ago when he was asked directly, will there be U.S. troops on the ground? And the vice president said no, the president is not going to be putting U.S. boots on the ground. Yes, they will be relying on troops that are already there at the CENTCOM command center in the Middle East. They said that they will be monitoring the details of this, but that they will not be putting boots on the ground. So it's not clear what exactly he means. But of course, this is the type of pressure that the president needs to continue putting on Hamas. In my conversations with people in that building behind me, Sarah, they say that this is anticipated. There's going to be a lot of moments in the broader implementation of this 20-point plan where there are going to be obstacles. We're seeing one of them play out right now, of course, with the return, whether or not Hamas is going to return all of the deceased hostages before that deadline. And so there's a lot of, pressure being applied, threats being applied. And I do think that this is, of course, the most striking rhetoric, though, we have heard from the president issuing this direct threat, saying that we will disarm Hamas for you, or for them if they do not disarm on their own. And so one other thing, though, I want to keep in mind, and I think in the broader context of all of this is, of course, as we've been talking about for a couple days now, is that, yes, what we saw on Monday was very successful, but there's so much work to be done. There's a couple of things, though, where the White House is more optimistic that this time is different than the past type of negotiations where they had a ceasefire agreement and then it quickly fell apart. One is that there is so much international backing, particularly from those leaders in the Middle East and all around the region, who have been directly in talks with Hamas, trying to make sure that everyone is held accountable on this. And the other is that summit. There have been some questions of whether or not, it was kind of getting ahead of things to have such a celebration on Monday, both in Israel and in Egypt, for that summit with all of the different world leaders. And part of what I've been told is that they believe that that is another form of accountability, coming out and celebrating this big moment. Everyone now really wants to make sure that this works. But again, there's so much work to do. And one of the biggest sticking points, of course, is whether or not Hamas will actually disarm. There's going to be a lot that goes into it. And these negotiations are expected to continue this week, of course, and the weeks ahead.
Yeah, what's going to happen? I want to play that Trump audio again. This is stark. This is stark words from the president.
They know I'm not playing games, and it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes, you say.
Because everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm.
They will disarm. Very, fluid, fragile situation. What can the U.S. do right now to disarm Hamas? Military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland is going to join us live next half hour, break down what avenues the president, our military, the Israeli military have on disarming Hamas, which is the next step of this 20-point peace plan, but obviously a very big story. I was watching Channel 2 Action News yesterday, Deborah, on the couch with Soba, and I saw this story we're about to talk about, a huge knockoff bust on I-85. But first off, did you know that our buddy George Estevez rocking like a little Don Johnson beard now?
I haven't seen. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen.
Have you seen it?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look.
That's what obviously he is a handsome fella, way better looking than me. I'm a 4 on my best day, but that's the beard I want, the one that he's got right now. And I can't. I don't
want his outfits. You want his beard.
Maya wants me to go clothes shopping with him, but I gotta find out how George trims his beard to
Can't
look.
you go to your barber? Won't he help you out with that?
Yeah, but it's like $40 to trim a beard. I can't do that.
And you're still tipping?
And I'm still tipping, yes.
You're talking to somebody who pays like $200 for
I understand.
haircuts.
But this to keep the George Estevez beard, it looks, by the way, I was told when I worked at Channel 2, you can't have facial hair.
I always thought that was true in TV.
So but I guess George is an anchor. He can do, but it looks so good. I'm like, oh, George, how did it?
You want me to AI one for you?
I don't know. Like if you're watching the live stream right now at WSBRadio.com, it's a mediocre beard. I want that George Estevez beard. Anyway, I digress. The story I was watching was this huge bust on I-85, a knockoff bust, Deborah. Apparently, counterfeiters, right? They're counterfeiters coming from Jersey to Atlanta, and they got popped on 85.
Yeah, so it was a traffic stop on 85 at Greenville, South Carolina, and it was just a ton of fake merch inside, about $1.6 million of items with labels like Hugo Boss, Lilly Pulitzer, Burberry. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the stuff. Even if you don't buy it, you've seen a lot of these things. And they're saying it was part of a big ring that came from New Jersey to Atlanta. Now, no charges have been filed yet. Investigation still going on. But they are looking for assistance from Homeland Security into this. Like maybe
it's
there's
such
more
a
to it.
huge deal.
Yeah.
And what the backstory on this is, because this isn't new. Counterfeit items aren't a new thing. But where the money goes, like, is some of this money that the counterfeiters make going to fund terrorist organizations, et cetera, et cetera? How much was it worth?
$1.6 million in fake merch.
And that's the fake price. It's not like these,
it'd be like 3 times as much if it were real.
10 times. Have you ever been to New York City, down Mott Street, Chinatown, Little
I've been to
Italy?
Mexico a lot. It's the same thing.
There's one block or a couple blocks now where you walk down and there's a person outside of every shop that goes handbag.
Yeah,
handbag,
instead of Prada, it's Prado. Yeah.
And they take you into the back room and they have all these knockoffs, which cost. So I don't know. Like let's just say a Gucci purse normally costs $3,000. I have no idea. They'll bring in like knockoff $300. Don't pay that $300 for the knockoff, Vinny, because that cost them like $7 to make. You can negotiate with the handbag ladies, get them down to like $30. And they'll be like, all right, fine, 30. They'll go from 300 to 30 on the knockoffs. But big bust there on I-85. All right, we are in the midst of autumn, but could we see a shorter foliage season here in North Georgia? We'll update that story in just a second. Right now, though, got to check the drive on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Hello and good morning to Mr. Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Travel advisory. Unfortunately, as I speak in McDonough, just found this on the JM Cam crash in 2 left lanes, 1 vehicle sideways right now. I-75 northbound just before Jonesboro Road, exit 221. All right, bumper to bumper. Back to Highway 155, exit 216. As you make your way out of Locust Grove through McDonough, you can always take the wide ways around it by using Highway 42 through the McDonough Square or Highway 1941. And if you have a Peach Pass, though, the express lanes are northbound. That'll get you around those delays. Also, delays starting to form into Cobb County with roadwork setting up. I-20 eastbound approaching Panola Road. This report is brought to you by True Natural Gas. They could report aliens have landed, but that wouldn't be true. Here's something that is true. True Natural Gas offers low rates and great customer service. Visit TrueNaturalGas.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
Chris Chandler here. What a difference Wise Guys Pro Wash made at my house. My driveway and patio probably hadn't been touched in 20 years. They're spotless now. Book them now yourself. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your first wash. WiseGuysProWash.com.
I've been forecasting sunshine for you for 40 years. Hi, it's meteorologist Glenn Burns, and now I'm excited with the sunshine inside my home. It's bigger and brighter thanks to my Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows. They're not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows. Fiberglass is stronger with narrower frames that brighten your home with more daylight and bigger views.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Spooky season is upon us, which means attending festivals, carving pumpkins, and, well, making messes. Candy, slime, you name it. Your carpet and upholstery has seen it all. Good thing you can call the pros at Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning to get your home insanely clean. Hey Atlanta, it's Patrick, owner of Zerorez, and we understand the mess that comes along with this season. Our patented cleaning technology, ZR Water, cleans your carpets without the use of harsh chemicals, soaps, and detergents. We also understand that every dollar counts these days, so save big with our fall sale. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129 when you mention WSB Radio. Still not sure if you should give us a call? Check out our 4.9-star rating on Google and over 20,000 reviews. So give us a call or schedule online to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. All you have to do is mention WSB Radio. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Scott Slade from iRoofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but unsure about timing? FGA offers a free drone roof assessment. Get a quote and mention me and you'll get $1,000 off your quote. And the quote will be good for 12 months. Search FGA Roofing to book an appointment today.
Sad news in the music world broke yesterday after he got off the air. D'Angelo Grammy-winning R&B singer, passed away after a fight with cancer. He was 51. This is baby-making music, Deborah. This was my go-to.
I have these records, yeah.
During my single bachelor young days, you pop on, turn it up, DJ Vin.
Vinny, put this in your arsenal for date night.
Yeah, keep it going. Do you have more? Yeah, don't slow it down. Invite a girl over to my apartment. Gonna make dinner, candlelight. D'Angelo. I would imagine in the height of D'Angelo's popularity, there was a birth rate surge in the United States.
Late 90s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mid
to late 90s.
Yeah.
Very sad. And apparently his wife had died already. And now the orphan son is like at a loss. But man, D'Angelo was great. 51, my age. Scary stuff. So we're going to play D'Angelo today. Hopefully we'll inspire the romantics listening. That's sad
Name your
news.
babies after Mark.
Yes. No, name after D'Angelo. It's a much cooler name. And he had a cooler beard than I did, too. So everyone's got a better beard than me. All right. I love fall. My favorite season by far, especially the North Georgia foliage. I grew up in New England, and that was, you get spoiled when the leaves change there. But North Georgia, very similar to New England foliage. And unfortunately, we are going to start seeing shorter foliage seasons, Deborah.
Yeah, if you love those changing colors of the leaves, it's going to be a little bit harder to find this year because more than 40% of the country is in a drought, and that's more than double the national average, which means those leaves are going to turn brown a lot faster and fall. So normally we're like used to weeks at a time, or some trees pop before others.
Yeah.
This one, it's going to be almost like days instead of weeks. But if you do want to check out leaves, Vermont, New York, Tennessee, and then it just says the Midwest. Like it won't list the state, the Midwest.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
I know growing up in Connecticut that the locals, the townies, we would get mad when all the people from New York would come up to see our leaves. And I'm sure North Georgia folks feel the same way. Like, why are you folks from Alpharetta driving up here, clogging up our street? But the leaves are so beautiful. Love the leaves. So it's the drought. We haven't talked enough about the drought. Maybe we'll bring in Christina Edwards at some point this week to talk about the drought. Coming up next.
These are unserious proposals from unserious people, and they're playing games while real Americans are being harmed adversely by the shutdown.
Speaker Mike Johnson not mincing words. Day 15 of the shutdown. We'll get the latest on that. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum, at WSB Radio. News, weather, and traffic in 2 minutes on 95.5 WSB.
Mr. Crash of the world, did I hear a thunder?
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403Bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic,
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. Good morning to you. I'm Cheryl Castro. News brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Investigators in Clayton County recovered the body of an infant in the area where police had been searching for a missing baby boy.
The discovery was made near a dumpster and wooded area by an apartment complex on Valley Hill Road in Riverdale. That is where Nakai Pratt's father, Antonio Pierce, claimed the 6-month-old was taken at gunpoint on Sunday. But police say Pierce's account contained inconsistencies and did not match physical evidence, and they have named him as a suspect in the case. He is in custody on an unrelated charge, but has not yet been formally charged in his son's disappearance or death. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
It's new this morning. For the 9th year in a row, Georgia students beat the national average on the college entrance ACT exam, and their average composite score rose while the national average remained steady. State School Superintendent Richard Woods says our teachers, school leaders, families, and students should take great pride in that accomplishment. The average composite score among Georgia 2025 high school grads was 21.4. It's an increase of 21.2 last year. A new special panel formed by state lawmakers is looking into the indictment of DeKalb County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton.
State Representative Doreen Carter is the chair of the special subcommittee. She says they want to work hand in hand with the school board to support their efforts.
The other objective is to give our constituents an opportunity to share their thoughts and concerns. And then ultimately, we want to be able to propose some legislation that strengthens this process.
Carter says this won't be a forum to adjudicate the case against Dr. Horton, and she says she and the other members are keeping an open mind. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Meanwhile, an executive closed-door session of the DeKalb School Board is now underway, and this is just into the newsroom. Amid that ceasefire plan signed by Hamas and Israel, we're now hearing that Pakistan says it has agreed to a 48-hour ceasefire with Afghanistan. The Atlanta Humane Society rescues about 80 pets in Statesboro found in a home in filthy and dangerous conditions. This comes after reports of extreme neglect and cruelty.
These are French Bulldogs and Pekingese. There are 2 Persian cats.
The Atlanta Humane Society's Christina Hill says her animal shelter will take in more than 30 of them, where they'll be treated and eventually fostered out.
These dogs have medical issues. They have open wounds that appear to be from fighting.
Bullitt County deputies arrested 2 people in the home on animal cruelty charges. New research from UGA suggests giving your kids cell phones too early could harm their mental health.
Researchers in Athens have found that by the age of 11, kids who use smartphones early reported more family conflict and mental health impacts. Lead researcher Corey Carvalho says parents may not be aware.
Yeah, the kids are saying, I'm experiencing more anxiety, more depression over time in the earlier smartphone owning group, and the parents aren't reporting that. It's not registering in their report of their child's mental health problems.
He says their research also showed kids who did not have cell phones did not show any increase in mental health problems over the 4-year study. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Well, just ahead of the holiday shopping rush, Walmart is teaming up with OpenAI.
So its shoppers can browse and purchase apparel, food, electronics, entertainment offerings, and more using the ChatGPT chatbot. Now, if you already have a Walmart or Sam's Club account, it'll automatically link that to ChatGPT.
Bloomberg's Tom Busby reports all Walmart and Sam's Club customers have to do is press the buy button. It's now 9:33, time to check traffic and weather. Mike Shields now live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Cheryl, top traffic stories in McDonough. Live look at the jam cam crash. 1 vehicle sideways, 2 left lanes blocked. That means only the right lane open. All happening on I-75 northbound just before Jonesboro Road, exit 221. Bumper to bumper, 5 miles back before Highway 155, exit 216. If you have the Peach Pass, the express lanes are northbound. You can also use Highway 42 through the McDonough Square or Highway 1941 as alternates. And traffic trooper Paul just told us about this crash. Found it on the jam cam. Left lane taken out. I-20 eastbound right by Riverside Parkway, exit 46. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, warming up to a high of 84. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, not quite as warm, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
Right now, sunny, 64 degrees across Lawrenceville as well as Mableton and Milton. More news for you at 10 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Let's just end it. Let's get people back to work. Let's get people.
Lisa
paid.
Murkowski, a
Let's
Republican senator from Alaska, commenting on day 15 of the government shutdown. Is there an end in sight? The latest in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are solving the unsolvable. Our transplant experts are using new technologies like machine perfusion to increase the number of usable organs, reduce waiting times, and allow more patients to receive life-saving liver, heart, kidney, and lung transplants. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Question for the sports fans out there. How many times has this happened to you? There's 1, 2, 3, up to 4 games going on at once that you want to watch. You want to watch them all, but up until now, you can't do it. That is until now. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. It's happened to me multiple times. So many games on at the same time, and I want to watch them all. But now, thanks to Xfinity's Multi-View, I can enjoy up to 4 multiple live events at once on the same screen. Yes, 4 teams playing. You've got an interest in all 4 of the games. With Xfinity Multi-View, you can now watch 4 simultaneously. That's like the greatest invention in sports history since the invention of the basketball hoop by James Naismith. Unbelievable. Xfinity Multi-View. If you are a sports fan, you got to check it out. It's a game changer for my friends at Xfinity. Get all the information online at Xfinity.com or visit your local Xfinity store today.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBradio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
Let me tell you about this girl. Maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar Babe. 9:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Rest in peace to D'Angelo. Vinny Drip's going to be spinning D'Angelo. It's going to put you in the mood. I'm just, don't have oysters for lunch today, friends, because after D'Angelo and raw oysters, you're... Yes. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to continue our team coverage of the fragile peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Colonel Jeff McCausland, military analyst from CBS, is going to join us live. Coming up at 10:35, political analyst Stephen Lawson going to join us. I think it's a huge endorsement in the governor's race. Stephen will break it down for us. And Deborah's got tickets to give away in the 11 o'clock hour to see the legendary band Heart at Gas South Arena. In the meantime, continue our team coverage of the government shutdown. Correspondent Rory O'Neill joins us. Rory, day 15 of the shutdown. What happened yesterday on Capitol Hill, and what can we expect today with regards to the shutdown?
Yeah, not much is the answer to both those questions. There was another vote to pass that continuing resolution that was already approved by the House that would have continued government spending as is through November 21st. But even Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was a no-show, so there were actually fewer votes supporting that CR in the Senate. So sort of not making any progress at all, really. And remember, this is just a temporary spending plan that would continue spending until November 21st. So we could be right back here in just a few weeks, unless perhaps they pivot and rather than address just a CR, maybe get the whole budget done for 2026. They're already pretty close.
Or the government stays shut down till November 21st, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
No, not at all. But that would be a new record. I think 35 days is the previous record set during 2018 to 19 under President Trump then as well. But, you're going to start to see more and more of these real world effects. It's a lot of federal workers not getting paychecks. And yes, there were some accommodations made for the active duty military, but think of the TSA agents, the FBI agents, the air traffic controllers, CIA officers not getting paid, all while members of Congress are. No way that sits well too much longer.
We heard from President Trump yesterday, Rory, saying that the extended closure is allowing him to slash programs that are quote, Democrat programs. One of them includes funding for education for special ed kids, special needs children. How is that going to land with the voting populace?
Well, I think that, that was part of those layoffs that came on Friday and the move to essentially close the Department of Education. That's something that the Trump administration has said that's one of their objectives. I think we heard from the education secretary saying this is a role that could be assumed by Health and Human Services. But this is essentially the IDEA program, right? It does the federal funding and sets the federal guidelines to make sure that students with special needs have those needs met in the classroom. And again, that office essentially being shut down. And look, that's going to filter through. And keep in mind, many of these same lawmakers also fight for these programs regardless of party. There are bipartisan support for these kinds of programs. So even Republicans can take a lot of heat if these kinds of programs are shut down in their districts.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, the calculus on this move. Does this pressure Democrats to get back to the table and say, oh, we can't lose these programs? Or does that swing popular opinion, say, well, I can't believe they're going to cut funding for special needs kids?
The whole point, though, is that no one's negotiating anything, right? You've got the House Speaker who says, hey, look, we did our job. We passed our continuing resolution. The House is not in session. They're not there in D.C. They're still back in their districts. The Senate may go home early because they're tired of taking the same old vote. So there aren't any of the negotiations happening at all. And I think that's one of the issues here. Again, the senators, the Democrats who are trying to oppose this CR are doing it really. It's not about the continuing resolution. They agree with what's in that, but their objection is what was in the big, beautiful bill and the end of those health care subsidies. So they're really arguing two very different things right now, and neither side is coming to the bargaining table.
Day 15 of the government shutdown and no end in sight. Rory, as always, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mark.
In case you missed it, when I asked Rory about what President Trump said about the Democrat programs, this is what he said yesterday in the Oval.
The Democrats are getting killed on the shutdown because we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we were opposed to. So we're being, and they're never going to come back in many cases. So we're being able to do things that we were unable to do before. So we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we wanted to close up or that we never wanted to happen. And now we're closing them up.
And that goes to what I've been saying since before the government shutdown. Does President Trump really want this shutdown to end? Because it has given him this liberty to shut down, quote, Democrat programs. Now, funding special needs kids, I would think that's a bipartisan program to keep funding for education for special ed kids. Is that the proper term anymore, Deborah? Special ed?
I think it is.
Special needs.
Special
I don't know.
Needs, yeah.
I don't think that's going to fly well, but obviously we will monitor day 15 of the government shutdown. Speaking of President Trump, he also said this about Hamas and the next phase of the peace plan, the disarming of Hamas.
They know I'm not playing games, and it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes, you say.
Because everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm.
Strong words from the president. Continue our team coverage of the fragile peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Joining us live in the show, CBS News military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, good morning as always. Thanks for your time.
Mark, good morning to you, sir.
You and I haven't had a chance to speak since this peace deal was signed. Let's start with phase one. Ceasefire and the release of hostages went pretty well, phase one.
So far it has gone well, but it's still, I think, a rather fragile agreement. What we saw, of course, in phase one was the release of around 20 living Israeli hostages and the promise, at least, for the release of up to 28 bodies of those who sadly died. But we have not reached that number. In fact, there's some disagreement already about how rapidly Hamas is doing that. In return, Israel released about 2,000 Palestinians, a couple hundred of which had been in Israeli jails for a long period of time, some on life sentences, and about 1,700 Gazans who had been detained since the war began, what were determined not to have had direct involvement in the October 7th, 2023 attack. And then finally, of course, a dramatic increase in the humanitarian aid that was allowed to flow into the Gaza Strip to try to raise and alleviate the massive deprivation and even famine and starvation in some parts of the Gaza Strip that's been ongoing for the people there.
In the wake of the ceasefire and the IDF withdrawal from over 50% of Gaza, Hamas now taking charge, saw a brutal video of Hamas soldiers executing 8 or 9 blindfolded individuals that they thought were giving information to the Israelis. Hamas now fully back in charge of Gaza. Next phase of the peace plan is the disarmament of Gaza, but what does that look like? You heard President Trump said, we're not going to mess around. They will be disarmed. How can that come to fruition?
Well, that's a really tough question, Mark, and it remains to be seen. That's still being negotiated. And in fact, of course, there's a problem, and that is Israel has pulled its forces back to an agreed-upon line. They still physically occupy about 50% of Gaza. But that means the other 50% is not occupied by Israel, at least in the interlude. Basic security in those areas are provided by Hamas, and sadly, that's why they were able to do what they did in executing those people very publicly in the last day or so. In addition to that, we've had reports of fighting between Hamas and Islamic Jihad, clans, organized crime in the area, and how all that settles out. And so that's still being negotiated in terms of the physical plan for the disarmament of the fighters. You know, what worries me, Mark, is while a group of people who were negotiating for Hamas in Doha and spent the whole war in Doha and in Cairo, agreed to disarm it in concept, the guys who've been in the tunnels for the last 2 years fighting may not necessarily accept that in practice. And I always remind people that wars end pretty raggedly. The last Japanese soldier to surrender after World War II did so in 1974 in the Philippines.
Yeah, famous story there. If is there a possibility, if Hamas will not disarm, that we could see U.S. boots on the ground in Gaza?
It's always a possibility, but I doubt that very seriously, that Mr. Trump would want to allow U.S. soldiers to get directly involved in that type of an effort. And the IDF, in terms of military capability and capacity, certainly has the capability and capacity to do so with some kind of U.S. assistance in terms of enablers. We can provide an awful lot of enablers, beginning with such things as command and control, intelligence, which is valuable in targeting people in a dense urban population, as you see in Gaza, and of course all the weaponry and ordnance. We've given about $20 to $30 billion in military aid and assistance to the Israelis since this war began 2 years ago.
I've been using the word fragile to describe this peace deal, as any peace deal in the past in the Mideast has been fragile. If Hamas decides not to lay down arms and they continue these barbaric acts on Palestinians trying to get back to their homes, is there a scenario where the IDF goes back into those unoccupied areas now and that ends this ceasefire deal?
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, while that may be able to be done militarily, you could end up in a long-running counterinsurgency. I always point as an example to the British operation in Northern Ireland, where they sent in military forces into Northern Ireland in 1968, and they were still dealing with an insurgency in 1993. Those kind of things are very difficult to extinguish, particularly a comeback to that heavily urbanized area. And still, despite Israeli efforts, there are many who believe that the tunnel system that Hamas has constructed largely still remains and may still be as extensive as the New York subway system.
Wow. Final question for you, Colonel. Militarily, our allies in the region, if an Arab nation had to send military into Gaza, what nation would that be? Would it be Egypt because of proximity and the size of the country?
Yeah, it could likely be Egypt, could be Jordan, could be the Emiratis might be a likely candidate to do that. But they're not going to send their forces in. There's no way an Arab group, an Arab military, is going to go into the Gaza Strip until some degree of peace and security has been established. They're not going to fight Hamas. They're not going to go door to door and try to extinguish Hamas. So the precondition for the stabilizing force that we've been talking about will be that kind of a disarmament of Hamas and then the arrival of that force. And while all those different countries and heads of state, European and otherwise, showed up at this meeting in Egypt, I have yet to see any specific contribution being talked about from any one country. They talk about it in concept, but nobody said, I'll send a brigade, I'll send 2 brigades, whatever.
Colonel, I lied. I just thought of one more question while I have you. Defense Secretary,
okay, Mark.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ruffled some brows, raised some feathers. I don't know what the term is, saying that the United States is going to build a Qatari facility at an Air Force base in Idaho to train F-15 pilots there. What he said is not exactly what he meant. What's your general take on that story?
You know, we train foreign pilots on American aircraft all the time in the United States. We do that for the Saudis. We do that for the Germans. We've done it for not only fixed-wing aircraft, we've done it for Apache. So if we're going to, I don't quite understand, you know, the Qataris have been one of our strongest allies in the region. Our largest military base in the Middle East is in Qatar. And in fact, the Qataris were seriously offended when Israel conducted airstrikes into Qatar. Think about it from a Qatari perspective. They're the only country in the region that was attacked by both Iran and Israel within 11 weeks. And when Iran attacked, U.S. missile defense rose up because of our large base there, and the Secretary of Defense, and that's where he is, by the way, Secretary of Defense, lauded the accomplishments by those Patriot crews in shooting those missiles down. When the Israelis attacked Qatar, nothing happened. So if you're a Qatari, you say, wait a minute, your base is here because you said you're going to defend us, and either A, then you're incompetent in terms of air defense, or B, you just ignored it. So I think there's a lot of shoring up of that relationship that's ongoing. The president made a statement, an executive order, declaring what a close ally Qatar was. Now this statement about training fighter pilots. But at the end of the day, like I say, we train fighter pilots from foreign countries on aircraft that they're going to buy from us all the time.
And then we had that apology phone call from Prime Minister Netanyahu. Colonel Jeff McCausland, Colonel, always great to have you. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Mark, take care.
All right. We're a little late for traffic at 9:51. Straight to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Current hotspot is what, Mike Shields?
In McDonough, Mark, crash still in two left lanes. The good news, though, wrecker on scene in the clearing stages. 75 northbound Jonesboro Road, exit 221. Bumper to bumper, though, as you leave Bill Gardner Parkway, exit 212 and the Tanger outlet. So you can still use Highway 42 or Highway 1941 as alternates out of Locust Grove into McDonough. Crash right in front of Six Flags over Georgia on the West Freeway. I-20 eastbound Riverside Parkway, exit 46. Slow 2 miles back, leaving Thornton Road, exit 44. This report is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the looks at all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you know what you'll find. Find a location at macy'sbackstage.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
A stunning home calls for stunning exterior craftsmanship. That's why you trust the Plus. Painting Plus. They have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus. Trust the Plus family of businesses for everything on your list.
Painting Plus. The Plus means anything and everything exteriors at the highest quality. Your complete exterior solution.
Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Hey, it's Chris Chandler here. I want to tell you about something that made the look of my house absolutely pop not long ago. That was having Wise Guys Pro Wash over to do their magic on the house, the driveway, the patio, the roof. They even cleaned the curb outside so the whole property practically looks brand new. It really made a difference, and they didn't blast that yuck away with any high-pressure big box store washers either. Wise Guys uses only the best equipment in the business. They soft wash everything, and that means it's safe on your paint, your trim, your siding, everything. My home, from top to bottom, from the front and in the back, looks brand new. So you, give Wise Guys a try. One call, a quick quote, next day service. They don't even need anybody home while they're there. It's super easy. Get your place ready for fall entertainment and the holidays to come with Wise Guys Pro Wash. First-time customers mention my name, Chris Chandler, and book now to get $70 off your first wash. WiseGuysProWash.com.
Men,
Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medi-Share. That's right.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medi-Share and your healthcare bills?
You know what? It was seamless. And that's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in and it's just what you need, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medi-Share and saving tons of money. The typical family, I'm fond of saying, can save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medi-Share. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
9:56 on the Mark Arum Show. How many of you have gotten those scam texts like, oh, you owe Peach Pass money? Well, apparently it's criminal gangs in China that are behind these text messages.
You've probably gotten the text. You owe unpaid highway tolls or traffic tickets. The Department of Homeland Security tells the Wall Street Journal Chinese gangs have made more than $1 billion over the last 3 years with those scams. They're using server farms in the U.S. to blast thousands of those scam texts out each day and use phishing websites to collect credit card information.
Yeah, if you get those texts, and I get them, that means your data has been breached at some point, where the dark web, which I'm really not sure exactly what the dark web is, BostonRedSox.com, to me, that's the dark web. But if you're getting these toll texts, these scam texts, that just means your data's been breached. So my data's been breached, but I've had this cell phone number for 25 years. I don't think I'm going to change my number. Just beware. The Peach Pass text, it's a scam. And apparently Chinese gangs are behind it. All right, when we come back, we're going to continue our team coverage of the Israel-Hamas peace deal, specifically the mental state of the hostages that are now back home after 2 years in captivity. We're going to talk to a therapist on what those former hostages are now dealing with. That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Happening right now, an executive closed-door session of the DeKalb County School Board is underway. This after the indictment of County School Superintendent Dr. Devon Horton. Meanwhile, members of the DeKalb County Legislative Delegation have formed a committee to look into the indictment of Dr. Horton. State Representative Doreen Carter is the chair of that panel.
Our focus is not on trying to adjudicate this situation. It's strictly about how do we support parents and students and our school board members.
And Carter says that she and other lawmakers are keeping an open mind. All right, your weather for today, sunny skies, temperatures trending 10 degrees above average, afternoon high around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. The other story we're following for you this morning, Clayton County investigators say they have found the body of an infant, and it appears to be a tragic end to the search for that little 6-month-old.
Nakai Pratt was reported missing Sunday by his father, Antonio Pierce, who claimed the child was abducted during a robbery. The discovery ends a days-long search during which investigators used canine units and cadaver dogs near a Riverdale apartment complex. Authorities say Pierce's account contained multiple inconsistencies and now regard him as the prime suspect. Nakai's twin remains in the care of their mother, whom police believe is not involved. Pierce was arrested on unrelated charges and is being held at the Clayton County Jail. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas still holding, although there are strains to the agreement. The Israeli military saying that one of the 4 bodies handed over by Hamas is not one of the hostages. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu talking with CBS News about the push for self-governance for Palestinians.
The Palestinians should have all the powers in a peaceful day to govern themselves. But they can't have the powers to threaten our survival. That sovereign power of security must remain with Israel, because otherwise the jihadists take over. Iran takes over immediately.
Humanitarian aid to Gaza has resumed after a 2-day pause. Back here at home, President Trump putting pressure on Democrats as the government shutdown stretches on. Rachel Scott has more from Washington.
As the government shutdown enters day 15, President Trump now says he will reveal a list Friday of, quote, Democrat programs that he will shut down permanently.
We're not closing up Republican programs because we think they work. So we are closing up Democrat programs.
With federal workers going unpaid, President Trump welcoming his close political ally, Argentina's President Javier Milei, to the White House to announce a $20 billion bailout for his country.
And the shutdown is now in its 3rd week. Happening this hour,
Clayton County, Georgia is hiring motivated, energetic people.
Clayton County holding a career fair. It's going on right now. You can drop off your resume from now until 2 this afternoon at the Virginia Burton Gray Recreation Center on Fayetteville Road in Riverdale. And they're looking to fill a number of positions, including police officers and firefighters. Check the pantry this morning. Ben's Original is recalling a limited number of Ben's Original long grain white, whole grain brown, and long grain and wild ready rice products. It's because of the possibility of small, naturally occurring stones originating from the rice farm being in those boxes. These small stones do pose a risk for oral or digestive tract injury if consumed. The rice was sold on Amazon and at Target stores. They do have a sell-by date of August 2026. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 358 at 46,629. So the Dow is up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's up more than a full percent. The S&P's up almost a full percent here at 10:03. That means it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. For that, we turn to Smiling Mark McKay. He has a look at your roads.
Thanks, Sabrina. We'll start to see improvement on I-75 through the heart of Henry County. Crash that had 2 left lanes knocked out on 75 northbound, just north of Highway 2081, exit 218. Has completely cleared out of travel lanes. Most of the wreckage is gone. There is one police unit on that shoulder, so the slowdown out of Locust Grove rolling through McDonough will start to improve. Won't improve on the West Freeway approaching Six Flags until crews clear out of the left lane. It's an injury crash in Lithia Springs, I-20 eastbound past Riverside Parkway, exit 46. Heavy brake lights back toward Thornton Road, exit 44 means using Highway 78. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and warming up today to a high of 84. That's trending about 10 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
It is 67 degrees in Villa Rica and Snellville. Sugar Hill has 66 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It is 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Extended fam with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Vinny Drip filling in for the stoic one on the other side of the takeout window. Heather will screen your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, political analyst Stephen Lawson's going to join us live. And then right after him, famed actress PJ Souls is going to join us. Halloween fame. She was in Stripes. Can't wait to talk to her. And we're going to talk tech with Kim Commando at 11:35. In the meantime, continue our coverage of the ceasefire deal, the peace deal between Israel and Hamas. After 2 years of being held in captivity, we saw the release of the 20 remaining living hostages being turned over by Hamas to Israel, reunited with their families. It was a lot of touching moments. I'm sure the hostages thought they'd never see their families again. The families thought they'd never see the hostages again, but they are reunited. And Deborah, one of the first questions I asked is, what is life going to be like after being held hostage by Hamas for 2 years? The not just the physical toll, but the mental toll. Joining us to talk about the mental condition of those reunited hostages, it's April Stallworth joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, a counselor, professional counselor. April, thank you so much for your time and your expertise.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
I would assume, just as a therapist in Metro Atlanta, that you might not have any firsthand knowledge of counseling a returned hostage being held by Hamas.
Actually, at Chris 180, we have partnerships with other agencies that serve people who have either been rescued from situations similar to hostage situations, including trafficking and things like that. And we do provide therapy services for those people. So we have some knowledge, maybe not of that specific population on the news today, but we do have the partnerships with different organizations in which we do serve people that experience things like that.
Interesting. All right, so related to what they experience, whether it's sex trafficking or PTSD, what approach does a therapist take? Because I'm assuming that these hostages are going to need to talk to someone about what they went through. What kind of approach will be taken with these hostages, do you think?
So I think, around the globe, there are multiple different approaches. And, of course, we have to be very culturally competent as we approach a client or a person who's come out of a situation like that. And typically, I think the first thing is, hostages or people in those type of situations they don't directly come and tell you their stories, right? So they try to thrive through it, survive through it, and as the symptoms come back, as the flashbacks return and things like that, that's when we start to see the symptomology and they're needing assistance and support. And so sometimes it doesn't start with therapy. Sometimes it starts with just building trust and having a community of people like peers or people who've already been through it themselves to develop that sense of community. And as they develop that sense of trust, they're more apt to start to work with different therapists, doctors, and specialists to kind of help process and reduce the symptoms and have a better understanding of how something like that affects them physically, their triggers, their responses. So there's not this arbitrary symptom that happens, but they understand, when I hear this, this is how my body responds. This is how my thoughts respond. Ultimately, this is how my emotions respond. And so sometimes it does take more time for people who go through that type of trauma to talk about it.
April, what
So,
kind of
yeah.
symptoms should the hostage families be looking for when now that they're reunited?
Definitely trauma-informed systems or programs and trauma-specific symptoms and specialists. I do believe that all therapeutic people who have a desire to help can play a role in the team. But I do believe that if there's, where they are or whatever is offered in terms of Red Cross and other agencies should be led or at least be consulted by trauma-informed practitioners, because it's a little different when you're dealing with significant, complex traumas like these versus maybe the ones that are analogous to the ones we hear about regularly, like a car accident or a fight or a shot or something like that. Complex trauma requires a little bit more understanding about how to approach so that we don't misinterpret behavior for them being negative, quote unquote, or bad, but their behavior or the way they might respond in those situations are what kept them alive in the situation they just were released from.
Therapist April Stallworth joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. I would imagine, and again, I'm not a therapist, so I defer to your expertise here, but some of the released hostages probably feeling guilt, right? Why did I get released alive when so many hundreds of other hostages lost their lives? Does guilt come into play here at all?
Definitely, survivor's guilt is a symptom that is often seen in many traumatic circumstances. And not just that, but it's that the trauma focus remembers that the hostage situation was one part of what they endured. Being where they were for the time period they were, there were other traumatic experiences that I would assume and that I've read that they probably endured. And so there's complex trauma. And in all of that, having to do things or having to participate in things that they may not have wanted to, all those things are at play in, and not being able to rescue or escape or understand why they survived is something that guilt is very heavy, and they have to work through it, with their mental health professional and their team. The people who are part of the treatment team.
Sure. Going forward, warning signs, right? Again, the hostage situation is unique. Obviously, they've been held hostage for over 2 years, but victims of domestic violence or sex trafficking, are suicidal thoughts a possible side effect of this mental trauma that they went through?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And practitioners and the people, like I said, that whatever treatment opportunities they have available to them and how they treat is starting off with psychoeducation for their families. We need you to understand what's happening so they don't interpret things inappropriately or incorrectly, but also the families and the support is going to need systems support too. So family counseling for them to be able to understand why those things are happening, how to respond to them, and then in the larger community, a response system. So like in Georgia, we have 988, which is the 911 for mental health, so to speak. So having a system of people that can get to them to de-escalate, help bring them out of what might be a flashback or a dissociation or whatever it might be, but then also to have immediate kind of response to recognize when the person is not in the state of mind that we believe they should be in that moment for whatever that might be, and understand there's a new normal. And that's something that, working with families who are reunited, Mr. Rummels, is the family has a different normal than the victim or the survivor.
Good point.
And they have to come together to develop that new normal. So as they're home now, the euphoria of being home is there. They're eating the foods they want, all the stuff right now to keep you kind of that feeling of euphoria. But over the next couple of weeks and months, as things die down and we kind of move on to the next subject, that euphoria may not be there anymore. And that's when we're going to start seeing, or their caretakers and families are going to start seeing other symptoms emerge and having understanding of what that looks like today so they can see it as it comes. And it's not a panic. That's something that's going to be so significant and important.
I might be using the wrong words or the wrong jargon here, but can there be medical, pharmaceutical prescriptions to help the survivors to deal with their new normal?
Yes, and to have a psychiatrist or a medical doctor, psychologist, whatever you can have on your team, there are medications that you take just for the immediate acute symptoms, and there are some medications that they're going to take for an extended period of time as they learn to cope. So having that person on your team or having that person support is sometimes what is used before they get to therapy. Like building those relationships. Definitely psychopharmacology and psychotropic medication is definitely going to be something that I presume would be the number one thing to start with if they're not ready for therapy or any other type of service.
Wow.
Just so
April,
people can sleep.
if the folks listening feel that they could be helped by therapy, what's a good way to reach out to you and your organization?
Sure, they can go to chris180.org, and we have admissions line. All our information is on our website. And if they have an immediate need, they absolutely can call 988, and from there they'll get directed to a bunch of services once they know that the immediate emergency has been dissipated. And, they can look up DBHCD in Georgia, and they'll have the Georgia Collaborative access to that, which has a bunch of providers on there for services. Children, families, and
I'm sorry, April. Give me the website one more time.
chris180.org.
Chris,
like short for Christopher.
all right, CHRIS 180.
Yeah,
Okay.
180.
I just want to make sure that the listeners don't go to some other website that might not be appropriate. Therapist April Starworth. April, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
There you go. Yeah, I can only imagine. And the families of the hostages being reunited, having to go through therapy. Crazy, crazy stuff. Again, it's a tenuous situation. The peace deal, fragile peace deal right now. We'll continue to update the situation throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. I might need therapy after all the car repairs I've done. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram. Did you see my video on Instagram? I went live on Instagram yesterday. I took my second ever Waymo driverless car. I took it from the station to Rocco's to pick up my car. Rocco's did a great job, as always, fixing. It's not Rocco's problem. It's the Jaguar's problem.
You need a different car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was waiting outside. I called an Uber outside the station. We got after our show meeting yesterday, Deborah. And it's like, hey, do you want a Waymo? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it again. It's not that far. I'm not going on the interstate. So I did my second ever Waymo autonomous vehicle drive from the station to Rocco's. So if you want to check it out, it's on my Instagram account, Mark Arum, MarkArum. Again, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. I've really enjoyed it. It was a good ride, but I need to buy a new car. Unfortunately, now is not the time to buy a new car. Deborah, what is the average price of a new vehicle here in the United States?
This is scary. The current average price for a new car here in the United States is $50,000. That's the average price, right? That's not even probably some of the bells and whistles that you'd want.
Yeah.
Like something as simple as power locks. It's going to cost you a couple extra thousand on top of that. But it does seem like more people are opting for luxury vehicles because they have cameras and all that other systems.
Well, you have so much stuff in a
that
car
we never
now.
had
Yeah.
before. And it's kind of like now I have a car with the backup camera. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. I never had one before. So that's what's making these car prices a lot higher. People are holding on to their cars longer. Like the average car on the road is about 12 years old. I just got rid of my car, 20 years old. But even like car dealerships are struggling because not only were they hit with tariffs, but less people are trying to buy new cars and they're really expensive.
Yeah, how can Vinny, a burgeoning star, but still at the beginning of his career, $50K? What are the odds you could pay for a $50,000 car right now, Vinny?
The odds?
Yeah.
Negative.
Negative odds.
Vinny won't even drive his car 30 miles
I just
over.
realized this. I have never bought a new car in my life.
I have once.
So my first car was hand-me-down from my parents. Second and third cars hand-me-down from my parents. I bought a used car when I moved to Atlanta at CarMax. And what's funny is I was at WSB Radio for a couple of years, and the guy at CarMax is like, well, Clark Howard says you should get this extended warranty. I'm like, really? Really? What else did he say? I'm like, let me call Clark. And the guy's like, what? I was like, yeah. So anyway, but I bought a car at CarMax, and then I took over my friend's girlfriend's lease on her Jeep Wrangler. Then I leased a Ford Explorer, which was awesome. I love that. And then, I did buy a new car. No. Yeah, I did buy a new car. I take it back. I had a middle-age crisis at age 30, and I bought that convertible Mercedes at Mercedes-Benz of Buckhead.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
so I
right.
did. Yeah, but that's the only. I make good money. I'm not paying $50,000 for a new car. I'm gonna buy Vinny's grandma's car or whatever. I'm gonna get that
Probably in mint condition, right?
07 Camry or whatever.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's $50,000. Who can afford that?
As a base.
Unbelievable. What's the cheapest car on the market? Find out what the cheapest new car is, Deborah. Maybe I'll buy that. All right. Speaking of traffic, roads, cars, I don't know. We call him the marvelous Mark McKay. Good morning, Smiling.
Morning, Mark. We do have I-20 delays on both sides of downtown. A lot of the ones coming out of Lithia Springs will start to improve. Crash that was on a left lane, now completely on the right shoulder. Still have flashing lights, though. I-20 eastbound, right in front of Six Flags, just before Six Flags at Riverside Parkway, exit 46. That's why it's difficult back at Thornton Road. Those delays will improve. Construction slowing on I-20 eastbound through to Cobb County, with that jam beginning just past Wesley Chapel, exit 68, heading out toward the Mall of Stonecrest. And I-75 is in recovery mode, rolling through McDonough. Crash has cleared I-75 northbound. Actually, police still on that left shoulder at Highway 2081, exit 218. This report sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Coming up on the Thursday edition of Atlanta's Morning News from 5 to 9, how much rain we can expect this weekend and Christina Edwards' updated 5-day forecast, traffic updates through the morning, and why Clark Howard wants you to avoid this move with your 401k money on WSB.
Can you guys believe Halloween is approaching, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Omaha Steaks is helping you out right now with an early Black Friday sale. You can get 50% off site-wide right now, and you get an extra 20% off select favorites and more. It's limited time deals because it's the early Black Friday sale. You want the caramel apple tartlets, but listen, if you're just into meal prep or you're tired of the family arguing over dinner, you load up the deliciousness from Omaha Steaks. I load up on the New York strips. It's what I feed the guys on Sunday nights for football weather. Grilling, it's fantastic, and I take advantage of this discount as well. And then here's the thing. At checkout, you use promo code ERIC, and you get an extra $35 off. Minimum order required. The unbelievable savings. 50% off site-wide, 20% off select favorites for a limited time for early Black Friday, and an extra $35 off. And all you do is go to omahasteaks.com, load up your cart. At checkout, you put in ERIC, ERICK. Start saving real big today.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Linda Beaver here. Summer may be over, but the deals are just heating up. Time to get to Beaver Toyota of Cumming because your car is here, your price is right, and it's time to drive. Low monthly payments, top dollar for your trade, 600 plus cars to choose from. We really do have a deal for everyone. And only here you get Beaver benefits with perks like lifetime powertrain warranty, lifetime oil changes, complimentary car washes, and loaners whenever you need them. Your deal's waiting, your car's ready. Visit BeaverToyotaCumming.com. Don't wait another minute.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
It's October, the spookiest month of the year. And let me tell you, sometimes the creepiest noises don't come from ghosts. If you're hearing scratching or scurrying in the attic, it could be squirrels or furry creatures trying to move in. I know because my Arrow Exterminators team member Ken found just that in my house. He gave me such peace of mind protecting my home with solutions that are effective and environmentally friendly. Arrow's been family owned for over 61 41 years, and they treat their customers just like family, too. They use the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available, and they back it all with a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Best of all, they'll give you a free home or business pest inspection, so you can stop wondering what's going bump in the night. So don't wait. Call 1-800-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com today and tell them Belinda sent you.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on all Halloween candy. You can save 33% with your digital coupon. Selection varies by store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your friends at Steel Horse Law are motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. They've mastered safely riding our Georgia roads, and they've mastered the unexpected twists and turns of Georgia law. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. With all the changes in Georgia law, you need the most experienced local motorcycle injury law firm to protect your rights. You can trust them on the road and in the courtroom. Get a free case evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Peace through strength. You get peace when you are strong. Not when you use strong words or wag your finger. You get it when you have strong and real capabilities that adversaries respect.
That's Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, NATO defense ministers meeting in Brussels to discuss strengthening the alliance's ability to deal with Russia air incursions. Big story there. Let's continue our team coverage from London on what's going on with NATO.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. Two interrelated issues under discussion: ongoing military aid to Ukraine and how to stop Russia's ever bolder incursions into NATO airspace. One possible option, relaxing the rules of engagement to make it easier to shoot down Russian military aircraft. That's something the U.S. and other NATO leaders support, but some member states fear ratcheting up tensions with their nuclear-powered rival. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Vicki Barker in London. I'll tell you what, Vladimir Putin is the happiest man on the planet right now because all eyes are in Gaza, right? The world's focused on the Israeli-Hamas peace deal, and Putin's like, oh, I can do stuff now that I couldn't do 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to do it. And we've heard from Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. He's like waving his arms. He's like, hey, don't forget us over here. Look up here. Look up here. That's from Three Amigos, by the way. Three Amigos. I don't believe PJ Souls was in Three Amigos, but she was in Halloween and Stripes. She is going to join us live next half hour. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, political analyst Stephen Lawson's going to join us. A lot of big local political issues to discuss with Stephen, including what I am dubbing a massive endorsement in the race for governor. Stephen Lawson, political analyst, live next on the Mark Arum Show. Social media is up and active as we pay homage to D'Angelo at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
To make sure your home stays comfortable as the seasons change, do what I've done for years. Call Ragsdale Heating and Air. This is Scott Slade. Take advantage of Ragsdale's $79 heating tune-up offer now. And if you're ready for a new furnace, Ragsdale is offering monthly payments as little as $119 a month for a brand new Carrier home comfort system through October. And that includes Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Ragsdale could even install a whole home generator to keep you powered up and comfortable when you click RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
You're building a deck or adding a room, that's wonderful. But if you skip hiring an architect trying to save money, well, the builder's going to need drawings anyway. They're going to hire an architect regardless and mark up their fees to you. That's why it's smarter to start your project at Sketchhouse. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, architect at Sketchhouse. At Sketchhouse, we'll make sure your plans are code and zoning compliant, they'll be creative, and they will look great. You're going to save thousands of dollars with Sketchhouse Architects. We're going to make this easy for you. Go to Sketchhouse.com. That's Sketch, H-A-U-S, Sketchhouse.com.
Guys, if you want a real solution to hair loss, allow me to introduce my friends at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. What makes them different? Well, they combine science and technology to give you back your own natural growing hair. Not a pill or a lotion subscription that helps retain what you have. Instead, Advanced Hair offers the proven, guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. If you want to get your hair back, now's the time, and Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first, you're going to need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. That's amazing. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Online at advancedhair.com.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
If your floors feel bouncy and uneven, it's time for AquaGuard Foundation Solutions Crawl Space Experts. Simply go to aquaguard.net and set up an appointment. It's fast and it's easy, and your floors will appreciate you. AquaGuard, the trusted local experts. Remember,
AquaGuard. Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. The government shutdown dragging on, and Gio Benitez reporting this morning. He has more on how the shutdown could impact you.
As the government shutdown stretches into its third week, air traffic controllers are issuing a dire warning.
This introduces a new risk to aviation. Not knowing exactly how I'm going to have childcare for my kids or put gas in the car or pay the next mortgage payment adds a certain level of stress onto an already stressful profession.
Controllers at Reagan National Airport say the stress of working without a paycheck, in some cases even considering picking up a second job to make ends meet, is putting lives at risk.
And speaking of that, doctors who've retired from CDC here in Atlanta joining a couple dozen demonstrators outside its campus, protesting more gutting of the iconic health agency.
I'm worried for everybody. This sign-toting retired pediatrician is stunned that whooping cough has killed kids in at least 3 states this year.
They're dying of pertussis? I saw kids with pertussis and hovered over their bedsides when they're just breathing, and there's nothing really you can do. You can support them. But those mothers would have given anything to have had a vaccine.
This infectious diseases specialist says attacks on the CDC hurt not just workers, but the nation's physical and mental health.
We need to get back to trusting in science and removing science from politics.
On Clifton Road in Atlanta, Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy the weather. It's going to be beautiful today. Sunny. Temperatures trending about 10 degrees above average. Highs this afternoon around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. We are waiting to learn more about the body of an infant found in Clayton County. It's believed to be that of that 6-month-old Nakai Pratt, who was reported missing Sunday by his father, Antonio Pierce. Pierce claimed the child was abducted during an armed robbery at a Riverdale apartment complex. He's locked up on unrelated charges this morning, but police say his story doesn't add up. Once we get more information, we, of course, will let you know if any charges are filed against him and the positive identification of that child that was found. Well, for the 9th year in a row, Georgia students beat the national average on college entrance ACT exam.
The average composite score among Georgia 2025 high school grads rose to 21.4. That's 2 points ahead of the national average. Georgia beats its own score of 21.2 last year. State School Superintendent Richard Wood says a lot of the credit goes to Georgia teachers.
I think we can continue to improve, but it just really reassures my confidence in the people that are in front of our classrooms.
Georgia students exceeded the national average in every individual subject area. They recorded their highest score in reading. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Now let's talk about your money and the economy. It's the most negative economic outlook since consulting firm Deloitte started keeping track back in 1997. They find a majority of people, 57%, say they expect the economy to weaken in the year ahead. 77% surveyed said they expect higher prices on holiday items. And on average, consumers say they plan to spend about 10% less this holiday season because of that. Generation Z expected to pull back the most. They say they plan to spend 34% less than they did last year on holiday items. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow is currently up almost a full percent. NASDAQ's up almost 1.5%, and the S&P's up more than a full percent. It's 10:33, time for a check of the roads. Smiley Mark McKay, what are you seeing?
Hey, Sabrina, some of the biggest delays we're finding now, construction related. No surprise this time of morning. Outbound through DeKalb County, heavy on the brakes through the work zone. I-20 eastbound, you'll see those brake lights as you passed Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Difficult getting out to Evans Mill. Then you will be on your way toward Lithonia and Conyers outbound with no problems. There are problems getting into and out of Lawrenceville along Highway 316. Delays in both directions due to road work. 316 east and westbound near Gwinnett County Airport. And into Midtown at Ladislaw on the connector where 75 meets 85 at 17th Street Atlantic Station. Starts to break up past Georgia Tech. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. Sunny skies today, warming up to a high of 84. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, not quite as warm, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
It is 70 degrees in Vinings. Decatur has 69. Here in Midtown Atlanta, we have 70 degrees. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
There is no win, there is no value, there is no savings by continuing this government shutdown.
Alaskan Senator Lisa Murkowski, day 15 of the shutdown, the political impact of the shutdown. Political analyst Stephen Lawson live in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
D.C. politicians want to enact harmful credit card mandates that could take away your cash back and rewards points. Perks that stretch your budget and make life a little easier. Losing these benefits means less money for your family's everyday essentials like gas and groceries. The perks you rely on could disappear, leaving you with higher costs and fewer options. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Don't wear 4 sweatshirts at home this winter because your old furnace isn't up to snuff. Get a brand new one thanks to my pals at Reliable. Hey, it's Mark Arum with you. Check this amazing offer going on right now. Any size furnace, just $59.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. ReliableAir.com, book an appointment, or call or text 770-594-9969.
If you're seeing cracks in the walls upstairs, downstairs, or outside, maybe even a door not closing, call the Foundation Repair Specialist. Hi, it's Mark Beckham here with Atlanta Ramjack, and we are your leading foundation repair experts. Set up your free estimate right now at atlantaramjack.com.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, buying a car is more than a transaction. It's a 5-star experience because they value you. Enjoy personalized offers and luxury perks, all designed with you in mind. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
These are unserious proposals from unserious people, and they are playing games while real Americans are being harmed adversely by the shutdown.
Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, day 15 of the government shutdown. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Coming up in about 10, 15 minutes, actress PJ Soles from Halloween and Stripes going to join us live. 11:05, we're going to talk to ABC News health and science reporter Mary Kakatos about those Tylenol claims related to autism. 11:35, Kim Commando talks tech, and Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart at Gas South Arena. In the meantime, though, join us live, as he does every week at this time, political analyst Stephen Lawson. Stephen, good morning, my friend.
Mark, happy Wednesday.
Right back at you. Day 15 of the government shutdown. Are you still getting paid? Is Denton still paying you? Or
I'm still getting paid, but you never know who they might lump into this government shutdown. So
I mean, political. I think both parties are getting hurt politically with this government shutdown. President Trump yesterday, and I've said this since before the shutdown, Stephen. You and I talked about this. That maybe the president wants this shutdown to go on a little longer because he can do some of this.
Killed on the shutdown. Because we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we were opposed to. So we're being, and they're never going to come back in many cases. So we're being able to do things that we were unable to do before. So we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we wanted to close up or that we never wanted to happen. And now we're closing them up.
I don't want to pat myself on the back prematurely, but that sounds like a guy that's like, all right, the shotgun's not too bad. We're getting rid of these programs I didn't like anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting point and a fascinating development in this saga. As you mentioned, we're on day 15 now, and the president had teased potentially doing some of this. And what he's talking about is eliminating positions in the federal government that instead of putting them on furlough, when people get put on furlough, those jobs are still on the books and in existence. But if they are eliminated, they're not coming back. And so that's a really interesting dynamic. Obviously, I think some of that is probably going to get challenged in the courts. But look, what the president has done a really good job of, I think, is plugging holes in terms of getting our military and veterans paid in the interim. I think that was a big win for him. But look, I think this thing could go on for a while. I think what's ultimately going to break the camel's back, Mark, is when do we see these really critical, essential services? When do we start seeing flights getting delayed at a more significant level? When do we see TSA folks not showing up? When do we see veterans and military maybe go without a paycheck? Until that happens, I think this thing may drag out for a little while longer.
Another thing to watch, too, and you make great points there, what will be the straw that breaks the camel's back is once open enrollment starts, because from what I've been hearing, that with the reduction of the American or the Obamacare subsidies, et cetera, that there are a lot of folks that have insurance plans through their employers, like me, that are going to get sticker shock when they sign up for health insurance during open enrollment. That might be kind of a game-changing thing as well.
Yeah, it's going to really depend on the person. Obviously, you mentioned the Affordable Care Act, the exchange that many people who don't have health insurance through their employer use. We know, I mean, we don't have to guess, that a lot of those premiums are going to increase. I'm not sure that there's anything that Republicans or Democrats can do right now to stop that from happening. I think they can stop some of the bleeding there in terms of extending these subsidies. But again, it's this question of really Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is really it's almost in a death spiral, because what you're seeing is those insurance premiums have continued to rise and rise year over year. Congress has stepped in and passed some subsidies to prop them up and to stop them from increasing as much. But that program is not a good one, and it's not sustainable long term. So I think, but again, I think one of the issues that Republicans have not done a good job on is they have not put forward a comprehensive health care proposal as an alternative to Obamacare. They have kicked the can down the road for many, many years on this. And I think that issue is coming back to bite them in this government shutdown debate right now.
Yeah, good point. There needs to be an alternative for sure. Political analyst Stephen Lawson joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Big bombshell endorsement in the governor's race this morning. What I think would have been the front runner if he was running for governor on the Democratic side of the aisle. Jason Carter, grandson of President Jimmy Carter, endorsed who in the governor's race?
Yeah, a state senator in Jason Estevez, and this is a big pickup for Jason Estevez's campaign. Obviously, you mentioned, Mark, that crowded Democrat primary field running for governor. You have Jason Estevez. You have former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. You have former DeKalb CEO Michael Thurmond, all running in that race, and including some other names as well. this could be a breakout moment for Jason Estevez. Obviously, the Carter family is beloved across the state, really, in many cases on both sides of the aisle in the political spectrum. I think it'll be a big boost for Jason Estevez. The question will be, will it help him raise money and break out of the pack in that race? You and I have talked at length about the importance of being able to fundraise and generate resources in that race to get your name out and to define yourself in a crowded field. That will be the key to watch for in terms of, does that endorsement deliver some resources for Jason Estevez?
For a Democrat, is the Carter endorsement the biggest in-state endorsement one could get?
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I would say it is among the top, simply because of the name ID. But look, as you mentioned, I think Jason Carter was the best candidate that the Democrats had on their side to potentially run. And the fact that he's not running and throwing his support behind Jason Estevez is a big get. He's somebody that is a very strong communicator, very well liked. And then obviously that name and that reach from his family and from his grandfather's work, he's going to be great out on the stump for Jason Estevez, talking about his priorities and traveling the state. I think so that's a huge boost for him, and definitely something to keep an eye on as that race unfolds.
Yeah, and will that translate into donations to the campaign? Fundraising is key. Speaking of fundraising, got some new fundraising numbers released from some big candidates. What stood out to you the most in the new fundraising numbers?
Yeah, of course. On the U.S. Senate race, obviously last week, some of those numbers began to come out. Mark, you and I had talked for a while about how important those numbers would be. You have Congressman Mike Collins raised about $1.9 million. Senate candidate Derek Dooley, who's been endorsed by the governor, raised about $1.8, and then you had Buddy Carter raise about $1 million. But then again, the big takeaway is on the Democrat side. You had Jon Ossoff raise $12 million. He has $20 million in his bank account and has completely dwarfed the Republicans. I think two things. One, I think Mike Collins probably did a little better than people expected on that fundraising number, going against somebody in Derek Dooley who had been endorsed by the governor. But the big takeaway, Mark, is that the longer that this Republican field remains splintered and they're all trying to raise money against each other, that disparity with Jon Ossoff grows wider and wider by the day. It's an advantage for Jon Ossoff, and it continues to allow him to outpace and outraise those Republicans. I think it's going to be very important, at least by the beginning of the year, that there starts to be some clarity on the Republican side, or else the money advantage for Jon Ossoff is going to become astronomical.
Final quick question for you, Stephen. In the primary calendar, the election calendar, when will we start hearing all of these political ads on the Mark Arum Show? When do those buys start?
I would suspect you will be getting calls, if not by the end of the year, Mark. When we turn the calendar year, I think all of that stuff is going to be firing up pretty soon. So for your listeners, get ready. It's coming.
It is coming. Can't wait. Government shutdown continues, but Dentons.com continues to roll. Stephen Lawson, always a pleasure, my friend.
Always in business. Happy Wednesday, my friend.
There you go. Thanks so much. Stephen Lawson joins us live every Wednesday here on the Mark Arum Show. All right, quick break. When we come back, very excited. Actress PJ Soles is going to join us live from Stripes and Halloween. Very excited to talk to that cinematic horror icon, PJ Soles, next on the Mark Arum Show. Right now, however, hopefully it's not a nightmare out on the roadways. Back live to the 24-hour traffic center. And Smile and Mark McKay.
Few inconveniences here and there. That includes the construction on the west side that at times calls for traffic pacing. North and southbound I-285 approaching I-20. Worst of it's going to be the outer loop leaving Smyrna into the I-20 region. The delays on the outer loop begin just south of South Cobb Drive. Start to break up past Hollowell Parkway, exit 12. Improving now leaving Langford Parkway. Tap of the brakes, 285 northbound on the approach to Cascade Road. Expect delays throughout the midday into the early afternoon, leaving 285 heading out toward the Mall of Stonecrest. 20 eastbound on the brakes past Wesley Chapel Road in the work zone out to Panola. And the downtown connector, sluggish northbound leaving University Avenue, and southbound filled up at 17th Street starts to break up past Georgia Tech. Smile and Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app,
If you have the WSB
All the notifications you
If
need.
you have the WSB app,
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB
The
app.
95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well. And I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer, Rufus, has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. For a limited time, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Got Joro spiders? Get Breda. Mark Aram here. These nasty black and yellow spiders weave huge webs, multiply quickly, and lay hundreds of eggs at a time. So if you see one, you better run, because it won't be long before you're overrun with massive webs. Just knocking down their webs does not solve your problem. You need Breda. Locate and destroy that spidey source.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
10:53 on the Mark Aram Show. You recognize that song from one of the greatest comedies of all time. Joining us live, one of the stars of Stripes, legendary actor PJ Soles. PJ, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Good morning. I love that theme song. It's so great.
It was such a... Now, full
movie.
disclosure, I know you're here to talk about Halloween, but as a kid, I was not allowed to watch Halloween or Carrie or any of the scary stuff. But my parents were like, you can watch Stripes and all the comedies you want. Let's start with Stripes.
Wow.
I mean, it's such an iconic movie. What was your experience working on that?
Well, definitely I had a hoot, and it was so much fun. Bill Murray, the kitchen scene is one of my most favorite memories of him in any movie. I think I got him to be real, because sometimes he can be a little hokey. But Harold Ramis was hilarious. Every time we would all get together and be about to film a scene, the four of us, Sean Young and me and Harold and Bill, he would say something, and we couldn't start the take because we were laughing so hard. So Harold was the one with the funny lines. Bill on screen funny, off screen not so funny, kind of moody, but we had a ball.
True, yeah. I mean, they're just two absolute legends. And I'm not going to lie, as a youngin', I was like, oh, okay, kitchen utensils, appliances might be the way to attract the ladies. Let's move on to Halloween. Again, I was not allowed to see it, but it's a legendary film. John Carpenter's Halloween, 1978 came out. It's coming back for a nationwide showing on over 2,300 screens.
I know. Isn't that amazing? I love it. I love that everybody's going to get an opportunity to see it on the big screen as intended, and it's going to be scary. You know, and today's films is a short movie, but it's going to have a long-lasting impression for those that have never seen it on the big screen and with that music, too. So I'm so excited. I wish I could see it again for the first time.
Is it safe to say that the horror movies of our youth and our generation are scarier than the new stuff with it's all CGI and you got these special effects? Like those were just raw, brutal horror flicks back in the day.
Yeah, well, I don't even consider Halloween brutal because there really is no blood. It's
True.
more psychological, like Alfred Hitchcock. And because of the music, it's really, I call it creepy. I think it's more creepy than anything else. And you always want to, in the dark, if you're walking on the street, you're looking behind you. Nowadays for different reasons probably too. But, in terms of Halloween, I think they just really set the tone for what's supposed to be a fun night of trick-or-treating for kids in costumes to have to worry about the boogeyman. So I think they set it up really nicely. But today it's all about, yes, the mastery of special effects, and some of the masks and the wounds are amazing. These special effects artists are absolutely amazing. Props to them. But, and then the fake blood. But I think it's much nicer to have a psychological drama rather than to just have all that gore.
Yeah. It's the
face.
mental, it's next level. I would imagine back in 1981, speaking of Halloween, there were young girls all across America dressing as Stella from Stripes for Halloween in the fatigues.
Oh, really? Oh, that would have been cool. I don't know. I think a lot of people come to my table at conventions and tell me they dress as Riff Randall or they're dressed as Riff Randall, but from Rock and Roll High School. But I never heard of the Stella one, but that's right. I did hear a lot of guys say they joined up, into the Army hoping to meet Stella. But
I'm glad you mentioned the conventions. Real quick, PJ, I'd love to run into you. I know we have a bunch of them here in Atlanta. Folks want to follow. Are you on social media at all?
I'm on Instagram, PJ Soles, and also Facebook, PJ Soles. Just, nothing fancy, just PJ Soles.
PJ, you were one of my first crushes. This has been an honor. Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
You are welcome, and enjoy seeing it if you're going to go. Please do.
Well, I mean, I'm 51 now. I might as well see Halloween for the first time.
Absolutely.
I don't think
1978halloween.com is the website.
Okay, 1978halloween.com.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, PJ. I don't think my mom can ground me now. I'm 51. I'm old enough, Deborah.
I love those old horror movies.
Yeah, I didn't watch Jaws until 3 years ago. My mom was very protective. She's like, you can watch all the rated R stuff, all the comedies you want, but I think she knew my fragile psyche. Great stuff there, PJ Souls. All right, when we come back, remember 3 weeks ago we were told Advil, Tylenol is going to cause autism. We're going to follow up on that story. ABC News health and science reporter joining us next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Your neighbors can't believe how high up you hung your giant spider webs for Halloween. Sadly, those aren't decorations. You've got Joro spiders. You better get Breda. Mark Arum here for Breda Pest Management. If you've noticed even one of these huge black and yellow spiders on massive webs, yep, that's the Joro spider, and they multiply quickly, laying hundreds of eggs at a time. So if you see one, you better run, because it won't be long before you're overrun with massive webs. Just knocking down that web does not solve your problem. You need Breda to locate and destroy the Spidey source. No matter the season, Breda has your back, protecting the inside and outside of your home. And Breda is proud to still be your friendly neighborhood family-owned company. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like spiders. Oh, those Jora spiders. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. We are waiting on a positive identification after investigators in Clayton County recover the body of an infant in the area where police have been searching for a missing baby boy.
The discovery was made near a dumpster and wooded area by an apartment complex on Valley Hill Road in Riverdale. That is where Nakai Pratt's father, Antonio Pierce, claimed the 6-month-old was taken at gunpoint on Sunday. But police say Pierce's account contained inconsistencies and did not match physical evidence, and they have named him as a suspect in the case. He is in custody on an unrelated charge, but has not yet been formally charged in his son's disappearance or death. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Graham. Sunny skies today. Temperatures trending warmer than normal for this time of the year, about 10 degrees above average. Afternoon high around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. Israeli officials claiming Hamas has returned remains of someone who is not a known hostage. The Israel Defense Forces said examinations based on forensic testing determined one of 4 bodies handed over by Hamas today did not match any of the hostages taken by the group. Hamas reportedly said it needed more time to return remains within the framework of the ceasefire deal. The transfer of an unidentified body does add another layer of strain to a fragile ceasefire brokered by President Trump last week. We'll be watching. The Trump administration today has revoked visas from at least 6 foreign citizens after it accused them of celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Kirk was assassinated while speaking at a college in Utah last month. The State Department posting screenshots of online comments from the 6 people and said that they are no longer welcome in our country. The department said that the U.S. has no obligation to host anybody who wishes death on Americans. It said that it was working to identify other visa holders who celebrated Kirk's death as well. House Speaker Mike Johnson defending Republicans' position regarding the federal government shutdown, which has entered its 15th day now.
Every single time the Republicans have voted
to pay the troops, and by the way, all other federal employees, federal workers. And the Democrats have voted over and over to stop it.
Johnson also took aim at Democratic lawmakers, saying that they continue to play political games while Americans suffer. The Senate set to vote once again on a funding measure to end the shutdown. The Republican-backed measure failed to be passed for an 8th time Tuesday. It came after President Trump said that he would cut programs favored by Democrats, with a full list of targeted programs expected to come out on Friday. Democrats continue to prioritize health care, pushing for an extension of subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. Back here at home, Georgia's 2025 high school grads see their ACT college entrance exams rise as the national average is holding steady. It's the 9th straight year Georgia students' ACT scores are up. State School Superintendent Richard Wood says their average composite score rose to 21.4.
We actually beat the national average in all the subject areas, English, mathematics, reading, and science. So to our teachers, congratulations on a job well done again.
The percentage of Georgia students meeting the ACT's college readiness benchmarks was 11 percentage points higher than the national average in all subject areas. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB. All right, let's check your money. A good day on Wall Street so far. The Dow's up 303 at 46,573. So the Dow's up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's up more than a full percent. So is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams, good morning from the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Right now, we're watching brake lights as you make your way out towards Stonecrest and Lithonia due to left lane construction. 20 eastbound passing Panola Road, exit number 71. I-20 eastbound over on the West Freeway. Also some brake lights there from Riverside Parkway over to that west side perimeter where we had that traffic pacing, 285 both north and southbound over there on the west side around I-20. That has since wrapped up. And if you're traveling into the heart of the city, leftover delays from the morning rush start on 7585 southbound right around 17th Street as you pass Georgia Tech. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies and warming up today to a high of 84. That's trending about 10 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
71 degrees in Kennesaw. It's 71 in Alpharetta. Brazelton, you have 70 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:04 on, you guessed it, an extremely busy Newsday Wednesday. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. 11:05 on your dial, 95.5 on your radio dial, 11:05 on your clock. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to talk tech with Kim Commando. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart at Gas South Arena, and we're going to continuously update our top local stories. A story, though, that popped 3 weeks ago concerning an announcement by President Trump and RFK Jr. about the warnings that Tylenol should be given to pregnant women. Covering the story from ABC News, it's ABC Health and Science reporter Mary Kakatos. Mary, good morning. Thanks for your time. I know you folks, it's been 3 weeks since then. You folks at ABC talked to some medical professionals and doctors about those three big claims made by Trump and Kennedy about the negative effects that Tylenol could have on pregnant women. What did you find out?
Yeah, so there have been a lot of claims that have been spreading online in the wake of that announcement from the White House. Some of it has been that there's no autism, for example, in the Amish community because this group allegedly doesn't use Tylenol, and therefore there are very low rates of autism. Experts who study Amish and have treated Amish patients say this is not true, that Amish patients definitely use Tylenol, and there are rates of autism in this community. They may be lower than the general population because of things like their rural location, less access to healthcare, potentially less access to getting a diagnosis, but both Tylenol use and autism rates exist. Another thing going around is that young children shouldn't be taking Tylenol, and some say that that's because of a potential risk of autism. There have been no studies that have found that there is a risk of Tylenol use in young children leading to autism, and doctors say that young kids, babies even, should be given Tylenol if they have a very high fever. Now, doctors want to give children the lowest dose for the shortest amount of time, but leaving a high fever untreated could lead to complications. The one other thing going around is that pregnant women are allegedly taking high doses of Tylenol to fight the administration. There have been unverified accounts on social media. Experts say that's not true, that there have been no verified accounts that
pregnant women are taking high doses or that there's an uptick in acetaminophen toxicity.
ABC News health and science reporter Mary Kakatos joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. When the story broke, my initial reaction was, whoa, Tylenol is going to take legal recourse, with these claims against their product. Have we had any response from Tylenol, be it inside or outside the court system yet?
So not what we've been able to see from the court system. Kenvue, which is the maker of Tylenol, has continued to insist that its product is safe and FDA approved. It has been studied in numerous patients and has shown to be safe, especially when used as directed. But also the administration was very careful to say that there is not necessarily a cause of Tylenol, rather that it's the use during pregnancy, and there may be some mechanism that leads to this risk of autism. But Kenvue, again, Tylenol's maker, refutes these claims.
But Mary, it's all about acetaminophen, right? Which is not just found in Tylenol. So why use the name brand Tylenol when making these claims? And what the doctors say that that ABC News talked to about not just Tylenol, but all use of acetaminophen?
Yeah, so it's not clear why there may be an emphasis on Tylenol. It just may be the most well-known brand, but that is true. The studies have been looking at acetaminophen, and which is the generic version of Tylenol. There's many over-the-counter generic versions that can be found in stores, and the studies have been studies that have looked at autism and this drug have just looked at acetaminophen, not necessarily a specific brand. And even the studies that have said there may be some link, they have also stated that there has been no causal relationship identified, meaning they cannot necessarily identify that acetaminophen use causes autism. There may be other factors at play outside of the acetaminophen use. So there are definitely going to be more studies looking at this.
For listeners that are pregnant or planning on becoming pregnant or have small children, what advice do you give to them on what to do with acetaminophen going forward?
The best thing to do is to talk to your doctor or your healthcare professional about any medications that you should be taking or should not be taking. They're going to know the best course of action for you. But I think it is important to say that leading medical groups like the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, they say that Tylenol is still the safest medication for pregnant women to take if they have pain or high fever, because leaving any of those things untreated, especially for long periods of time, can lead to complications. But first and foremost, talk to your doctor about what's best for you.
Indeed. Mary Kakatos, ABC. Mary, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
So I've been dealing with this cold, Deborah, for 2 weeks now. I went to Target the other day to get, I ran out of NyQuil, which is what I've been doing. So I bought this new, NyQuil's usually like a purplish color.
Yeah.
So they have a new NyQuil out. NyQuil Severe Cold and Flu with honey.
Oh, I've seen that,
and it looks like honey. So I bought it, and I go to self-checkout at Target, right? I love self-checkout. And I scan the NyQuil honey, and it's like, you got to show ID. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, because you can use it to make meth.
I guess, yeah. So the lady comes over, and she's like, you have to enter in my birthday, whatever. So I get home and look at the bottle. I'm like, why did it have to show? Anyway, there's acetaminophen in the NyQuil. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to this. I take that NyQuil, severe cold, flu, honey, whatever, and I am in 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't keep my head up. It knocks you out. Like, I am sleeping so well.
Maybe I should try that.
It is remarkable. Make sure you have your ID, because they're going to check your ID
for the my ID.
For the but that's got acetaminophen. I take Advil all the time. That's got acetaminophen. I just don't understand why there's gonna be something in the courts where the maker of Tylenol is like, all right, dude, like that was a bridge too far. Anyway, as Mary said, the health and science reporter for ABC, talk to your doctor. If you're pregnant, you want to get pregnant. If you have small kids, ask your local physician, your personal physician, on what they should do. Just getting word, Speaker Mike Johnson on Capitol Hill, day 15 of the government shutdown, just talked to reporters.
1.3 million active duty service members would be missing a paycheck. They'll get their check, thankfully, because President Trump has shown strong leadership. And under his direction, the Department of War has now redirected unspent funds to ensure that our troops are taken care of.
Interesting. Okay, I was wondering how, because President Trump said he was going to use tariff money to pay the troops, which wouldn't pass muster because Congress has to appropriate funds. But what Speaker Johnson said there is Hegseth is using unused funds that have already been allocated by Congress to pay the back pay of the troops. One more cut from Speaker Mike Johnson.
Every single time the Republicans have voted to pay the troops, and by the way, all other federal employees, federal workers, and the Democrats have voted over and over to stop it.
So we'll monitor day 15 of the government shutdown. Again, we talked to Rory O'Neill, correspondent, earlier in the show. Don't expect anything to pass today. In fact, this could linger longer, all the way through November 7th, perhaps, or even beyond. But obviously a story that impacts thousands of you listening here on 95.5 WSB. Yesterday on the show, we talked about the desecration at the Martin Luther King Jr. Eternal Flame. I don't know if this is this a TikTok trend, Deborah? Because it's happened again, this urination desecration. First it was here at the King Center, and now it's in Vatican City?
Yes, so a man urinated on the altar of the confessions at St. Peter's Basilica, which I don't know if you went to the Vatican when you were there.
I did not, no.
The St. Peter's Basilica is the main church that's there. It's where the square is. You can kind of go and hang out outside if you don't want to go into the church there. And he did it in front of a bunch of tourists, because there's always tourists at the Vatican. And he just pushed past security, pushed back barriers, climbed up the altar steps, which aren't small steps.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a quite...
Is it normally accessible to the general?
You can go in there and
but
go
not
to the church.
To the altar.
Right, but
yeah.
you have to go by, again, there's lots of security
Yeah.
in Vatican City. So he just kind of ran past all of them and did his business right there. Now, police were able to grab him right away. They removed him. But Pope Leo XIV decided to close the basilica, which is very rare for that church to ever be closed. But they closed the basilica so they can do purification rites, and they had some prayers and some psalms.
That's
and, of course,
just nasty.
holy water, right, just to
Yeah.
get things back, because this is right above St. Peter's tomb, and St. Peter, that's Jesus' right-hand man.
Like, you look up sacrilegious in the dictionary, that's it. That's Exhibit A. I hope to hell this isn't some stupid TikTok trend. Like, well, you're on TikTok, Vin. Is that urinating on sacred sites? Is that a new TikTok trend?
I haven't caught wind or heard of it.
6, 7?
6, 7. I don't know.
That's back-to-back days we've been talking about this. Good grief. That's horrible. Vin, while I got you, do you have a favorite convenience store? Like, you're driving from work and you're like, oh, I need to get an iced tea or a snack, or do you have a preferred convenience store?
I go to QT.
QT,
It's
yeah.
the most lit one. Yeah. It's safe.
Like, lit in a number of directions. It's well lit, and it's lit inside the QT. The roller grill. Yeah, I'm a fan. I like QT. I like Racetrack. I could live on convenience stores alone. Growing up, we had, I can't even think of the name of them anymore. Dairy Mart. We had Dairy Mart and Cumberland Farms were the two convenience stores. And, you know, especially if you were in Connecticut, everything closed at like 8 p.m. So they're same in Wisconsin?
At least my part of Wisconsin,
Yeah, everything closed at 8 except for Cumbies, which we called Cumberland Farms, or Dairy Mart. So those were the two. But I used to go in there, and it was great. A great experience. You have $5 and you're in Dairy Mart, you're a king. You can get anything you want for $5 at Dairy Mart. So I've got a long-held affection for convenience stores. And again, it's carried down in the South. Quick Trip, Racetrack, love them. New data is in out, new survey in America's favorite convenience store. So this is, not just in the Southeast, not the entire United States. What is America's favorite convenience store now, Deborah?
Okay, before you get too excited, it is Quick Trip with a scale of 84, but it's not the Quick Trip that we know here. We have ours as the QT. This is
the one in
Quick Trip
Wisconsin.
in the Midwest that they spell it with the letter K, KWIK.
Yes. And that's separate
yeah, they're
companies,
completely
right?
different companies, but that's the one that I grew up going to, that Quick Trip.
My buddy Carter, who lives in Wisconsin, owns Cooley Cards, baseball card shop. And years ago, I was talking about that. I was like, what did you get for lunch? He's like, I stopped at Quick Trip and got barbecue. And I'm like, heard? They have barbecue at Quick Trip? He's like, oh, yeah, it was $1 barbecue. And I was like, what is And then I found out it's a different
Completely
Trip.
different, but it is called Quick Trip. That is number one in America right now. They are kind of expanding beyond the Midwest.
Before I get into the rest of the list, are you familiar? Did you go to Quick Trips?
Yeah, there is a Quick Trip in my hometown. As you were leaving town to get to the next actual town,
Yeah.
we had a Quick Trip. It was probably similar to you. Everything closed. It was
Yeah.
the only thing open. We could get gas there. Yeah, we went to Quick Trip a lot.
Interesting. All right, so what else? Is there a list? Are there other?
I've got like a top 5 here, I
Okay.
guess. So let's see. Number 2, I don't think we have here. Wawa. You probably know Wawa.
I've been to They're in like Pennsylvania. I know they're Allison Mastrangelo from Channel 2
Oh, that's
is a
East
Wawa fanatic. I think they're like South Jersey, Philly. I've been to them
Okay.
when I drive up to Connecticut. Not bad. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Number 3 is Sheets.
I've been to those
do
as
we
well.
have those here?
I
don't
think
think
they
so.
go as far south as Virginia. But I've had again going up 95 to drive home for Christmas. I'll stop at all of them because I love them. And Sheets and Wawa, yeah, they're definitely good. Upper echelon.
Number 4 is our Quick Trip, the QT that we're
Okay.
used to. That comes in at number 80. And then I think it's kind of surprising. Number 5 is Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is great. I'm surprised they're so down on the list because they've been expanding a lot and people make pilgrimages to Buc-ee's.
No offense to Buc-ee's, and I know Buc-ee's fanatics. Vinny, I don't know if you know this, Deborah, took Colby Cannoli. She wanted to go to Buc-ee's, and Vinny's such a good dude.
That was their date?
He drove an hour and a half to the Buc-ee's because she
I
wanted
did.
chips or what?
She wanted 9 bags of chips.
9 bags. Like, Vinny's a good dude.
Wow.
I don't think Buc-ee's qualifies. That should be a separate category then.
Well-
That's not a convenience store. That's an outlet store.
Kind of. It is. It's like the biggest kind that you can get out
Yeah.
there. And then after that, you've got Love's, which to me is a truck stop. It's
Oh, yeah,
not,
Love's.
But that's not a convenience store. That's a truck stop to me.
Yeah, that's a truck stop.
Yeah,
I'm
Flying
with that.
J.
That Flying J does not make the list.
No,
Yeah.
but that's a truck stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a convenience store.
Right, so-
All right, so 2 Quick Trips on the list.
2 Quick Trips. But the
Ours
Midwestern one's
and
the best.
Midwest. With is K.
KWIK, Quick
All right,
Trip.
I've never been, but apparently a $1 barbecue sandwiches on Wednesday, according to Carter. All right, we're going to come back, update our top local stories. First and foremost, though, let's take a quick trip to the traffic center and say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. We are still watching a slow ride out toward the mall at Stonecrest and Lithonia due to left lane construction. I-20 eastbound passing Panola Road, exit 71. You're also seeing brake lights on 316 eastbound through Lawrenceville toward Decula. We just found right lane construction right around High Hope Road and Hurricane Shoals, so that's causing a little bit of delays there. And on the south side, I just found a new work zone. Right lane blocked 85 southbound through Union City, Highway 138, exit 64. Traffic brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been
Jam
there.
starting at Langford Parkway.
Counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Jammed from I-85 down towards Ponce.
There is one thing you can count on. Triple team traffic on WSB.
Stay slow once you're inside the perimeter as well.
We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
75 northbound heading up to Cobb County through Marietta and Kennesaw.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
At Southern Link, we know wireless connectivity keeps business moving. Whether you're overseeing assets in real time or monitoring crew activities, our Critical Link LTE network can keep your business applications accessible as you travel. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our mobile data solutions, LTE voice and data services, mission critical push-to-talk, and interworking solutions. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
Are you worried that when the temperatures drop this winter in Atlanta, your old furnace is not going to keep you warm and toasty? Fear not. My friends at Reliable have an amazing preseason special right now on a new furnace. Hey, it's Mark Aram here. Any size furnace, just $59.99 a month. Unbelievable. Plus 0 down, low monthly payments, and all future repairs, maintenance, even filters, no additional charge for life, plus an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Incredible. Reliable offers fast furnace repairs with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, 24/7 service, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Preseason furnace special going on right now for my pals at Reliable. I want you to book an appointment right now. Go to reliableair.com and click on the Book Now button. That's reliableair.com. Or call or text 770-594-9969.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Hey, friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof. Online at drroof.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place, you know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone.
That's the voice of Charlie Chaplin in his first true sound film. 85 years ago today, The Great Dictator opened in New York, a political satire. Basically, in 1940, before we even got into World War II, lambasting Adolf Hitler. Like one of the most impactful movies of all time. If you haven't seen it, I wonder... I used to see it on like Turner Classic Movies.
Turner Classic Movies, you might be able to stream some of that stuff if you have like the HBO app or something.
I wonder if that's even just on YouTube right now.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Yeah, like remarkable, groundbreaking movie, and Chaplin's first true sound film. Did you ever see the Chaplin movie with Robert Downey as Robert Downey Jr.?
I did, but it was probably when it came out. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's interesting. You learn a lot about Charlie. He had a very interesting life, did Charlie Chaplin, but that was 85 years ago today. All right, we have news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart at the Gas South Arena. Kim Commando's going to join us live, talking tech, and a huge lumber deal. Lumber. Yeah, Yellowwood. Here in the state of Georgia. We'll give you the details on that big local story. Social media is up and active at Mark Aram and at WSB Radio.
Nothing but you.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Guys, if you want a real solution to hair loss, allow me to introduce my friends at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. What makes them different? Well, they combine science and technology to give you back your own natural growing hair. Not a pill or a lotion subscription that helps retain what you have. Instead, Advanced Hair offers the proven, guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. If you want to get your hair back, now's the time, and Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first, you're going to need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. That's amazing. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Online at advancedhair.com.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda's proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Hurricane season is here, friends, and now's the time to make sure your roof is ready for whatever comes next. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. At Dr. Roof, they're experts at hurricane proofing your home. From inspecting shingles to reinforcing your roof structure, they make sure your home is secure before the storm hits. Don't wait until it's too late. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from Dr. Roof today. Get ready before the hurricane season goes into overdrive. Call Dr. Roof today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. We are waiting to learn more about the body of an infant that was found in Clayton County. It's believed to be that of a 6-month-old Nakai Pratt, who was reported missing Sunday by his father, Antonio Pierce. Pierce claimed the child was abducted during an armed robbery at a Riverdale apartment complex. He's locked up right now on unrelated charges, but police say his story doesn't add up. Once we get confirmation on the identification of the body that was found and any charges against the father, we, of course, will pass that along to you. Your weather for today: sunny skies, temperatures trending a little warmer, 10 degrees above average today, highs around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. Well, for the 9th year in a row, Georgia students beat the national average on the ACT college entrance exam. State School Superintendent Richard Wood says our state is seeing an increase compared to nationwide numbers.
Students who met all 4 benchmarks, it was actually 11 points higher than the national average. So by and large, a great day for Georgia.
Now, the average score for Georgia 2025 high school graduates was 21.4, an increase from 21.2 the year before. House Speaker Mike Johnson blaming the Democrats for the government shutdown. Speaker Johnson crediting President Trump with ensuring active duty military were paid on time and accusing Democrats of playing political games.
Every single time the Republicans have voted to pay the troops, and by the way, all other federal employees, federal workers, and the Democrats have voted over and over to stop it.
Now the shutdown is in day 15. Ukrainian President Zelensky will meet with President Trump on Friday. That's according to multiple reports citing Trump administration and Ukrainian officials. Zelensky will travel to the White House for this meeting on Friday, and this comes as the president has been considering providing Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine as the war with Russia continues. You want to check your pantry? Ben's Original is recalling a limited number of Ben's Original long grain, whole grain, and wild ready rice products because of possible presence of small naturally occurring stones originating from the rice farm that could be in those boxes of rice. These small stones could pose a risk for oral or digestive tract injury if they're consumed. The rice was sold on Amazon and at Target stores. It has a sell-by date of August 2026. And Olive Garden announcing that they've decided to close all of their locations on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day this year. The company saying the change was made so their workers can spend time with family and friends. Olive Garden also saying that some of their restaurants might close early the day before each holiday, depending on the amount of business each restaurant receives. Let's take a look at the market, see how your investments are working. We're in the green. The Dow's up 238 at 46,509. The Dow up more than 0.5%. NASDAQ's up more than a full percent. The S&P's not far behind. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. He has a look at the roads.
Hey, Sabrina, we just uncovered some new trouble in Tucker. It is a stall in the left lane, 285 and northbound. The outer loop looks to be right under the La Vista Road or Lawrenceville Highway Bridge. Either way, it is slowing the ride as you make your way up from Clarkston into Tucker. Also in DeKalb County, that left lane construction continues. I-20 eastbound, Panola Road exit 71. And the right lane construction in Union City, 85 southbound. This is at Highway 138, exit number 64. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. Sunny skies today, warming up to a high of 84. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, not quite as warm, high 81. Friday, partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s to low 80s.
It is 74 degrees right now in Woodstock. Johns Creek, you have 73 degrees, and it's 72 in Jefferson. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
We only want to be around people who think exactly like us.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
God forbid you actually converse about the world.
Eric Von Hessler.
Smash and conquer, my friend.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next, Kim Commando will tell us how we can take AI classes for free. Plus, Deborah's got tickets to give away to See Heart. Straight ahead on The Mark Arum Show.
If your basement has any issues like condensation, wet floors and walls, or musty smells, that can be a sign that your home might be due for waterproofing. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can help. Just visit aquaguard.net and set up a free inspection. Remember, AquaGuard.
More and more these days, people are in pain, are taking control of their health and looking beyond the traditional medicine. Hey, it's Mark Arum. That's why QC Kinetics is so successful. People with chronic joint pain are learning that there are other options besides steroids, meds, and surgery. Patients fighting pain are getting lasting relief using advanced cellular treatments. It's QC Kinetics regenerative medicine that can revitalize your joints using growth factors from your own body. And check it out, guys. It's a simple injection. No hospital stay. It's fast, all natural, and no downtime. I want you to call QC Kinetics and get a free consultation. Exercise your freedom to look beyond the same old solutions. Thousands of patients around the country finding a better life with QC Kinetics and their amazing regenerative treatments. Call now to get started. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Appointments available on Saturdays. Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, Decatur, and Douglasville.
Properties come in all shapes and sizes, and so do foundation repairs. Mark Beckham here. It could be new construction, a big house, a small house, or your commercial property. Anyway, you need the leaders in foundation repair to handle it. Get your free estimate at atlantaramjack.com.
Can you guys believe Halloween is approaching, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Omaha Steaks is helping you out right now with an early Black Friday sale. You can get 50% off site-wide right now, and you get an extra 20% off select favorites and more. It's limited time deals because it's the early Black Friday sale. You want the caramel apple tartlets, but listen, if you're just into meal prep or you're tired of the family yard going over dinner, you load up the deliciousness from Omaha Steaks. I load up on the New York strips. It's what I feed the guys on Sunday nights for football weather. Grilling, it's fantastic, and I take advantage of this discount as well. And then here's the thing. At checkout, you use promo code ERIC, and you get an extra $35 off. Minimum order required. The unbelievable savings. 50% off site-wide, 20% off select favorites for a limited time for early Black Friday, and an extra $35 off. And all you do is go to omahasteaks.com, load up your cart. At checkout, you put in ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. Start saving real big today.
Right now, Beaver Toyota of Cumming is loaded with fresh inventory, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Heat pack packed in the animals 2 by 2. Ox, a camel, and a kangaroo.
11:37 on this beautiful Wednesday in the A. Kim Commando joining us in just a second. But first, Deborah, we have some tickets to give away, my friend.
How about tickets to see Heart at Gas South Arena on February 15th?
By the way, my Butler bell was delivered by Amazon this morning, so tomorrow we'll have a new sounding bell. Day 15 of the government shutdown. That means it's the 15th caller to 404-872-0750. 15th caller to Heather at 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Heart at Gas South Arena, courtesy of The Mark Arum Show. Joining us live on The Mark Arum Show, as she does bi-weekly. You hear every weekend here on 95.5 WSB. The digital goddess, Kim Commando. Kim, good morning, my friend.
Hello there.
I am so far behind, and I teased this coming into this segment, the AI revolution, and I'm like, well, how can I learn more about AI? But I really can't afford to, go to college for it. But there's a way we can get free AI classes?
Well, here's the deal. Everybody needs to know AI. I mean, it's just the bottom line. Now, there are some college classes, before we get into free, I just want to let you know that OpenAI is sponsoring one-year programs on colleges throughout the country where you can kind of get a master's in artificial intelligence. Like here in Phoenix, Arizona State University did a partnership with OpenAI, and they selected 65 people to go through OpenAI's program. And the starting salary, they say, after this one-year program, I hope you're sitting down.
I am.
Is about $500,000.
Whoa.
So if
what?
Yeah. So if there's a university near you, and just give a call and say, is OpenAI sponsoring any programs? Normally, it's going to be through the business college. And again, the starting salary is $500,000.
If you don't mind, because I was so stunned, what are the universities that it's currently offered?
I'm not sure
Okay.
throughout the country, but I do know here in Phoenix, and I believe there's a dozen or so throughout the country.
Oh my! I mean, I guess I could take a pay cut and make $500,000. I mean, for the kids, I can do that.
I mean, if this radio thing doesn't work out, it's always an option.
Well, you look what Zuckerberg paid that one kid, $250 million.
I know, it's
like,
crazy.
Holy smokes, that's
It is
insane,
crazy.
Kim. Yeah.
So, but if you're sitting there saying, I don't know even what a prompt is, or maybe you want to start coding, you want to get developing, the biggest thing is that you just want to start using AI, and you can actually ask AI, like ChatGPT, I want to become proficient in this. Give me some lessons, or tell me where I can go to take some lessons. Now, Google is also offering free AI classes, up to and including like how to build a prompt, how to use a prompt, how to get into coding. Also, how to get your business seen by AI, and what to do with search engine optimization, which is kind of dead right now. But if you just Google AI Essentials, again, that's the phrase, Google AI Essentials, is that their whole program will pop up. Now, some of the classes are free, some of them are paid through Coursera, but there are ways for you to get started. But the best way for you to start utilizing AI is really, and learning it, is just to jump in feet first.
Yeah, $500K a year. You just woke everyone up on that, Kim Commando. Earlier in the week, we had a special report from our ABC Tech reporter, Mike Dubusky. He went up to the Thomas J. Watson Research Center, IBM's research center in New York, talking about quantum computing and how big of a game changer that could be. And it could change the game when it comes to AI as well.
Well, quantum computing is the next phase. And the reason why is that artificial intelligence requires so much compute, and not necessarily computing power, they call it compute. And so with quantum computing, we can do things that we have never even dreamed of. The thing that's most exciting to me is that when we talk about quantum computing and artificial intelligence is the ability that it has to really have milestones in our healthcare and in our longevity. There was a research study out of Stanford University. They had come up with a cure. They don't want to say what disease it is publicly, but they had come up with a cure, and they've been working on this for 10 years. They didn't publish a report on it. They didn't put anything on the internet. So there was no way that AI could have stolen that type of material, right? And so they presented the whole problem to AI and said, okay, so here's what we have. This is what we do. And, what do you think the solution is? Within 4 days, it came up with the same solution.
That they spent 10 years on.
Yes. Yes. Wow. And so our our lives are moving exponentially.
Yeah.
I mean, and so very quickly. That if you don't really know artificial intelligence, and I get this from my people, oh, Kim Commando, AI is just a fad.
No.
I'm like, really? Okay. No. I mean, it has totally jump-started the way that I operate, the way that my team operates. The only challenge and the only thing I will say is that I recently hired a gal, and she was at Gen Zer, and I had to remind her that I hired her and not ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Because every single thing that she sent me was ChatGPT.
And what's the point? You know, you could do ChatGPT. You're hiring her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, even up to and responding to my emails, like, and you could tell that it's ChatGPT because you have all the M dashes and they're using words like paradigms and goals, and you're like, okay, those words never come out of your mouth.
That's crazy. Kim Commando joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Kim, I saw this story. I've heard of smart watches before, but I've never heard of a smart ring. Smart rings are a thing?
Oh, they're huge. You have the Oura ring. But I have to tell you about this guy, Daniel Rotar. He was wearing a Samsung Galaxy ring on a flight to Hawaii. Now, suddenly the ring started to feel really snug. It got tighter and tighter. And before you're sitting there going like, well, he was on a flight. He probably wasn't drinking water, and he's probably overweight, and he's diabetic. None of that happened. Young guy, fit, mid-flight, the ring started to feel snug. By the time he landed for a connecting flight, it was stuck and it was swollen. His finger was getting swollen on it, and the ring had locked onto his finger. So he landed in Honolulu. Initially, he was going to take another flight to another island, but the TSA agent said, you know what, no, you really need to go to the ER, okay? And so he went to the emergency room where the doctors had to cut the ring off of him. Now, the thing is, smart rings have lithium-ion batteries, the same type in your phone, right?
Oh, okay.
So the battery is packed into this tight metal band. It wraps around your finger, has no room for expansion. So when the battery malfunctions, it swells up, okay? In a phone, it pushes out the back. In a ring, it totally pushes into your skin. So it's not about body size or hand shape. It's about a really bad design.
Was he able to keep his finger?
Oh, yes, he was.
Okay, good.
Thank goodness. But some people have asked me, like, well, why was he going through TSA? Well, he was actually flying from London to Honolulu. So he had to go through customs.
Yeah.
And then when he went through customs, he's like, they said, take your ring off. And he's like,
Look at my finger. It's purple.
I'm sorry. I can't take the ring off.
What is, I mean, I'm so far out of the loop. What does a smart ring do? What's the benefit of that?
It does everything. It tracks your heart rate. It tracks your sleep, your respiration. I mean, really, it does a lot of bodily functions like an Apple Watch. But bottom line here is that if you want to track your health vitals, an Apple Watch is better, okay? And then it's also, you can take it off. You're not going to be stuck with it.
All right, so it's health related, which is why I've never heard of the smart ring. Finally, Kim, how can our listeners win an iPhone Air, my friend?
Yes, this is a great phone. It's the skinny phone. It's about 0.22 inches. It's amazing. And all you have to do is go to winfromkim.com. I'm giving one away absolutely free, a $999 value. Once again, that's winfromkim.com.
Excellent. I'm at register. Am I eligible? Can I register?
I don't think so.
Oh, dagnabbit. All right. I guess we're colleagues, so I would be ineligible, yes. Kim, always a pleasure. I'll be listening to you this weekend, my friend.
You betcha.
There
Thank
you go. There she is, the digital goddess, Kim Commando. You hear every weekend here on 90. Did you know about smart rings, Deborah?
Yeah, I believe Clark Howard wears an Oura ring.
Well, he's health oriented.
Yeah, I wear a smart watch, but I don't need to wear a ring.
Yeah, I don't need my smart ring like, oh, you're going to have chicken fried steak again today? Arum? I don't know if they talk to you or not. Hey, congrats to Alan in Carlton. He won a pair of tickets to see Heart at Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and 95.5 WSB. Kim mentioned some colleges offering those AI courses. I don't know if Georgia Tech is one, but Georgia Tech might feel the impact of the government shutdown, which is now on day 15. We'll explain after a quick break and check of the ride on this Wednesday morning. How we doing out there, Alex Williams?
Hey, Mark, we got a few slow spots, and one is definitely construction-related. It's that slowdown I-20 eastbound as you head out to Stonecrest and Lithonia. It's left lane construction getting past Panola Road, exit 71. Had a stall up in Tucker, but better news, it has cleared from the left lane, 285 northbound, the outer loop at La Vista Road. Delays will start to improve there. And we're also watching right lane construction as you make your way through Lawrenceville toward Decula, Highway 316 eastbound as you pass High Hope Road, so tap in the brakes there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Corporate megastores are spending millions lobbying D.C. politicians on one-sided policies that send small businesses tumbling. They want to enact harmful credit card mandates that take resources away from your local credit union and community bank, leaving Main Street businesses with less access to credit, making it harder for your family to pay for everyday goods like gas and groceries. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
When you come home after being away, you see your home with fresh eyes. And eventually, you'll roll up to your old garage door and finally notice how chipped and faded that rusty old slab really is. But that's the first thing people see when they come visit. A 250 square foot bent aluminum lime green garage door that also squeaks. Welcome to our home. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Our design consultants can help you find a strong, quiet, modern garage door that anyone would be proud to come home to. Modern materials that won't crack, dent, or fade. In contemporary styles that showcase your home's design. Call Mo Better Garage and let us show you just how joyful arriving back home can be.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com. Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the costs of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than Big Wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Brown sugar, babe. I guess high up your love, I don't know how to be.
I absolutely wore this track out. One of the most played CDs in my collection right here. Rest in peace, D'Angelo, gone too soon at the age of 51. Fought a valiant battle against cancer. This, I just... Trying to get confirmation if Vinny was conceived to this song or not. We'll find. Maybe that's Vinny's fact of the day. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Day 15 of the government shutdown. Could the fine engineers down the street on North Avenue at Georgia Tech feel the impact of the shutdown, Deborah? What can you tell us at Georgia Tech?
Yeah, Georgia Tech is preparing to these contingency plans of the government shutdown. They said if it continues much longer, they're going to have to limit spending on things like contracts that they do, travel that they need, and even offering new positions at the school. I'm not exactly sure how the government plays into the budget for Georgia Tech, but it's really affecting things. So right now they're just trying to kind of budget differently and slow down spending so that they can't, it doesn't hurt them too much.
So basically a freeze on hiring for some reason. I'm not sure what the financials are.
Yeah.
It's a public institution, right? Georgia Tech is a public school.
I believe so, yeah.
So there's obviously federal funding there. Interesting. Day 15 and no end in sight. I teased this story earlier. I wanted to go a little longer in depth on that. Thankfully, we have Bloomberg News. It's a merger that creates one of the largest lumber companies in North America, and it's going to be based in Atlanta. Bloomberg's Courtney Donahue has more.
Rayonier agreed to buy PotlatchDeltek in a deal valued at about $3.4 billion. The combined company holds 4.2 million acres of land across 11 states. The lumber industry has been struggling with low prices due to the weak housing and construction markets. The company will take on a new name, and its corporate headquarters will be based in Atlanta. The firm will operate 6 lumber mills and an industrial plywood mill. On Bloomberg's Courtney Donahoe for 95.5 WSB.
Buy land, my friends. I have 10,000 wooded acres in Maine. Maine, by the way, is a weird place. A term-limited Democratic governor has confirmed she's going to try to win her party's primary and then go unseat a longtime Republican senator. Chris Cruz has more.
Janet Mills is the first woman elected governor of Maine. After 2 4-year terms, she's decided to try to do what no one has done in more than 30 years, defeat 72-year-old Republican Susan Collins.
What's happening in Washington, D.C. is not good for Maine people.
The 77-year-old Mills tells CBS News affiliate WGME Collins hasn't stood up to President Trump.
Taking away food stamps for children at the same time he continues great tax benefits for billionaires. That's wrong.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
Firsthand, different folk live in Maine. It's a different world. There are different people. Don't try to make any political predictions because Maine is a special, special place.
Vinny's fact of the day. All right, today, Great Wall of China was open to tourists on October 15th.
Well, hold on. The Chinese restaurant, Great Wall of China?
No.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Start again then.
All right. The Great Wall of China was open to tourists on October 15th, 1972. The ancient structure is a must-visit attraction, symbol of China's rich cultural heritage.
So prior to 1970, it wasn't built in 1972.
No.
But that was when it was, I guess, was that after Nixon's visit to China? Remember Nixon made that famous...
No, I don't remember, but I know
you know of it. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that opened up. I want to know more about the Great Wall. Do you have other facts on the Great, like how long it is, how it was, how long it was
I wonder, is it one of the 7 wonders?
Yeah, it's got
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you.
No, it's a great one. I've never been.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I've never been either.
I'd like to go to China. That's a lot of walking, though.
Would you walk the whole distance of it?
No, I couldn't do that. But I would imagine, just on the pictures I've seen, I don't think the ancient builders of the Great Wall were like, all right, every 400 yards, we need to put a restroom. So I'm assuming...
That's a good point.
It's probably
no porta potty.
Yeah, it's probably porta potty central, which is not good for me. All right, Vinny's fact of today. Good job, Vinny. Let's get some stars of the show, and then I got to go walk Soba.
And now,
Are you guys ready for the Mark Aram Star?
Well, start with Vinny Drip. Great job, Vin, filling in for the Stoic One. My man. Highly engaged, highly prepared, spinning D'Angelo all day. Fantastic. That's not a pity star of the show.
No, that's well deserved.
That's a well-deserved. Yesterday, you might have gotten a pity one, but today was a legit star of the show. Some fantastic guests today. ABC Health and Science reporter Mary Kakatos talking about the acetaminophen Tylenol claims by the administration and RFK Jr. We had Rory O'Neill talking about the government shutdown. Jeff McCausland, military analyst from CNN, joined us. CBS joined us the latest on the Israel-Hamas peace deal, the fragile peace deal. So Colonel McCausland gets one. April Stallworth, I can't read my handwriting. She is a therapist, talked about what's going on mentally for the hostages that return. Really interesting stuff from April. Kim Commando, PJ Souls from Stripes and Halloween. Always, it was nice to, I've never talked to her before. She was fantastic. Am I forgetting anyone, Deborah? We're going to forego. We're going to let Vinny stand on his own today in a non-pity star of the show. Big stuff tomorrow on the program. Of course, we're going to update the government shutdown, the latest on the Israel-Hamas peace deal. Knock on wood, it holds. And, of course, updates on our top local stories. Active on social media after I get off the air. At Mark Arum, M-A-R-K-A-R-U-M. Stay safe.